All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, bright children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, bright children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, bright children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. Clear my mind and my soul. Gave me a new man. Oh, made me whole. I'll rise up. I'll be the new light. I am awakened. I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, bright children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. Israelite's journey.
Peace and blessings, family. I hope everybody's doing well today. For my brothers and sisters that's over there on the East Coast, Shabbat Shalom. For those on the West Coast, good afternoon. Glad everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing well. It's your brother Bunya on. We may not have a couple other brothers come on. I want to greet everybody in the room. I want to say peace and blessings first and foremost to the brother Kadar, resurrecting the truth, out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Appreciate all your work that you're doing, brother. It's definitely a blessing to have brothers such as yourself out there doing the work. And I would say everybody that isn't subscribed to the brother Kadar, resurrecting the truth channel, you're depriving yourself of some great information, some great discussions, and just all around great fellowship, great brother, awesome brother out there doing the work for the Most High and for his people, for the love of the Most High and the love of his people. So if you're not subscribed to the brother's channel, please do go to Kadar Resurrecting the Truth. Also, our brother Ibri out there doing the work in the beginners channel. Don't deprive yourself of that information. Don't deprive yourself of that fellowship and that understanding that the brother's giving out there. Moving forward, we want to say shalom and blessings to Albany, Georgia. Peace and blessings right back at you, family. Hope you're doing well, sister or brother. I don't know if it's a sister or brother. I don't know why. I can't derive whether or not it's a sister or brother through Albany, but if I got the gender messed up, I blame that on Babylon. They twisting our minds up with what's truth and what's not. Terry Payne said Shabbat Shalom, Salt of the Earth Production, Kadar Resurrecting the Truth, Albany, Georgia. Right back at you, family. Errol Collins, Shalom and blessings. He says Shalom, Simba, Wa Yada from the UK. They got our brothers over there across the lake. Also, I want to greet all our brothers from across the lake, from the east, north, south, and west of the earth. All our brothers and sisters out there that's surviving through the grace of the Most High, scattered abroad, all Israel according to the flesh. And we got our brother, only 60 games played. Only 60 games played, but I bet you a boss at them games, family. Peace and blessings to you, family. Glad that you're here. Glad you're here to join us. We got our brother Optimal Training up there with the diesel emblem right there. Dude on Swole. Shalom and blessings to you, family. Yeah, we got our dear brother Jason Philip McCauley. It's always a blessing to have you here, bro. I don't know why you bless us with your presence so much, bro, but it's definitely appreciated. I'm glad that you come in, you share with us, and you bless us with those scriptures, and that that you just hear, man, that you come in and you share with your brothers, and you share with your brother Banya, and it's always a blessing to have you here, bro, and I thank you for that. I thank you for your attendance. As everyone else, I thank them also for their attendance. Pam Yah Israel, Shalom Akiyam of Sotet. Now, you know what? Sometimes people think that we Egyptologists, they see that Sotet. It's not Hotep, it's Sotet. Those are abbreviations. Salt of the Earth Productions, for those who may not know, right? She said, moderators and to all my chat family, we love. Definitely. We love you all. Shalom and blessings. Brother Tinsley, shalom and blessings, bro. I'm glad you're here. And for Brother Tinsley, man, it'd be great if you could chime in on some of this stuff that I'm going to be chopping it up about. But, we haven't had you on the panel in a while. It'd be great if you could join the panel and just give your outlook on some of this stuff that I'm going to be talking about. Don't get mad at your brother, because I'm gonna say some things, Romney Black, shalom and blessings, family. Glad to have you here. Shalom and blessings. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High indeed. Lynn says, Shabbat Shalom, family. Blessings. You must be on the East Coast. Let me know what part of the East Coast you're from. I'm from North New Jersey, but I want to say Shabbat Shalom anyway. We got Neelante, shalom and blessings, family. Glad you was able to make it in. Likewise, to Darlene Franklin, beautiful. How you doing, beautiful, with those locks? Shalom and blessings. We got Antonio, sup fam? I got the BOGO special on Ain't No 400-year teas and anti-captivity spray. Yeah, we need that anti-captivity spray, most definitely. Definitely need that. I get that on me as soon as I can. I hate this place. This is crazy, man. You know, we need to get up out of here. Like pronto. Please, Father, make these people let us go, Father. You know. Lin Yahuda Hashua Hashu Hashashiak. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, sister. Your brother Bunya is terrible at names. Terrible. I try to get better by reading, you know, and doing the scripture reads and things like that. That helps me a little bit, you know, because then you learn how to pronounce names that you're not used to pronouncing. You know, we pronounce names like James, Jake, all the Roman Greco style stuff. We can pronounce that easily. I guess the Most High said it. He said, "With stammering lips and another tongue." So our lips are definitely stammering because we've been trained up in this bastardized language so much that, you know, stuff that is really normal for us to be able to translate is now difficult. We got Sharon O. Shalom and blessings. Time is winding up, family. Yes, indeed it is. Yes, indeed it is winding up. It's winding up. You got Donovan Ben Judah. Yehuda. Shalom and blessings, family. Shalom and blessings. And we don't want to forget our sister, unorthodox daughter of Zion. Shalom and blessings, family, man. May the Most High bless your family and keep you always. Pamela and Anthony. Shalom and blessings, family. Sean, Trot It Down. Alicia Israel. I think we said it, Eric Tenzi, Sister Cindy Carr, Pam Yaya Israel. We got a whole bunch of people, but so I don't keep wasting y'all time. You know, I wanted to do a public service announcement, but I thought it was only fair that I bring everybody in here and let everybody know. Your brother Bunyas had it wrong all this time. You know, brother Bunyas. Yeah, you know, there's the 400-year prophecy. It's not true, brothers and sisters. It's not true. You know, I've been listening to some people. I've been listening to those who have better education than me, and those who actually went and took the time in seminary colleges and learned under professors and paid great amounts of money to actually learn how to read the Bible and understand it and the hermeneutics. And you know, these people, they've studied under, you know, people who have more knowledge than me. And you know, I've deduced that, you know, these people they're more apt to teach than I am, and then the brothers that's been on this panel, they've been more apt to teach than we have. And I think you know, I've been very foolish. And I will first of all, I want to offer apologies too to some of these people that have been teaching, such as Berean, Alton Johnson, Mike Holloway, and as you see, we had his face on there. I want to offer my sincere apologies to Vocab Malone. These people have went throughout our communities and they've taught the love of Christ, and they've never had any gal towards us all along. It's us. We're the ones that's been hating people for telling us the truth. And you know, I've been wrong all this time, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, how I came to this conclusion, but it's been sitting on my heart for a long time now. You know, been on my heart for a long time, and I've been led astray. You know, I've been led astray by my own wickedness, because, you know, the Most High never told us that we should be following his commandments like that, you know. I mean, the Most High brought us to America so that we could be like Christianity that's brought us there. The Most High had them beat that into us for a reason, because we was a stubborn people, you know. We was a stubborn people, and we wanted to follow you know, the ways of our ancestors, and that's the reason why we are in this situation, because we was trying to be like, you know, our ancestors. And we had people come on here before and try to tell us that we was wrong, and brothers and sisters telling us that, you know, we supposed to be able to eat whatever we want and things like that, because the Most High gave us liberty to do these things. But, you know, I wouldn't listen to them, you know. I wouldn't listen to them, and, you know, I fell into this foolish 400-year prophecy thing, because I wanted our people to be free, and I wanted our people to serve God, to serve him freely without hindrance. You know, but that's not what God intended for our people. God intended us to praise you know, praise him in the captivity that we're in by submitting to. Yeah, we can eat pork now too, you know. Sister Lynn, so everybody that's been everybody that's been depriving yourself of pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you know, that's not going to save you, you know. God doesn't look at that and say, you know, since you ain't been eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, that, you know, you sacrificed. You haven't sacrificed anything according to God, you know. You know, all have sinned before God, you know. So, you know, it's nothing we can do about it. We're all sinners before him, whether you choose to eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster or not. You know, so I have one question to ask brothers and sisters. Just one question to ask you before we move on. Because I don't know how to explain it, but the question I want to ask you guys is, do I sound believable? Do I sound like I'm kidding, or do I sound like I'm sincere in what I'm saying to you? Give me a 1 if I sound sincere, and give me a 2 if I sound like I've lost my mind. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what. I wouldn't win the Grammy. I guarantee you that. I sound sincere, man. Let me tell you something. Yeah, if I wish I could do Brother Eric Tinsley voice right now, because that's the best voice to use when you want to really emphasize how the foolery has really overcome someone. Listen, man, let me tell you something. There is no way in hell I would ever fall back from what the Most High has delivered us out of, man. You know, Most High has done so much great works with our people, and, you know, he's really cemented the understanding into our minds, and understand in the knowledge of the truth, you know. And as we move forward, we begin to gain more and more truth and understanding. You know, the word is important. The Most High's word is important. And when we read the word, we examine it. We go through books. We go through peer review. We go through history, geography. You know, we go through I don't want to say anthropology, because I've never studied anthropology personally, but I'm sure there's probably some brothers and sisters out there that have. You know, we went through DNA, genetics, you know. But this one prophecy, man, you know, the 400-year prophecy is something that stands alone, in my opinion. And the reason why is because what you notice is when we try to have these discussions with people, you know, all the big names, all the big people that have a problem with the 400-year prophecy, they can never be put in a situation where they have to answer questions, and we are asking them. We have people asking us questions like, what is the falsifiability? I don't even know what does that mean? They want to use the big words to try to confound us. Falsifiability, right? Now, that falsifiability is supposed to mean, what does it take for you to believe that the 400-year prophecy does not apply to us today, right? And it's like, okay, you asking that question when we've already put out what the answer is. All you got to do is simply show us 400 years of captivity happening to any Israelite throughout history. It's just that easy. If you can show it happening in Egypt, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greek, then we'll concede that we were wrong. But don't try to sit up here and tell us 400 years of affliction can come out of 215 years of sojourning. Don't tell us that. Right? But this right here shows you the levels and the lengths people are able to are willing to go to deceive our people. Right? People who set up in seminary colleges and paid all this money being confounded by brothers such as myself who haven't taken a lick of seminary colleges. Brothers who sat down there and read the Bible with sincerity, wanting to learn. The Most High increased our understanding and our knowledge. Now you can't overthrow it and you mad because you spent all that money learning garbage, learning trash. Now, what are you going to do now? But you want to sit here and you want to cape for the so-called white man. You want to cape for Esau, for the powers that be, for this construct to continue while your people stay oppressed in degradation, suffering. Oh no, but you don't want to acknowledge their suffering, right? You think that our suffering can't be compared to the suffering that our people has been enduring, right? Oh, you ain't nobody stopping you from leaving. Let me tell you something. When our forefathers were in Egypt, do you think there were individuals of our people that was able to leave out of Egypt? How did Moses leave out? How did he get out of Egypt? How did he flee out of there? He left on his own. How did they carry bones of Joseph out of Egypt? He left on his own. If Egypt wasn't like America and didn't have our people for some type of spoil, why did our people get out into the wilderness and then start regretting leaving Egypt? If it was to them, it was that bad. You see what I'm saying? There is no new thing under the sun. Our people left out of Egypt and complained. You brought us out here into the wilderness to die? We had garlic in Egypt. We had herbs in Egypt. We had many different type of meats and all these different things that we could have in Egypt. Tell me, if our people saw their oppression for what it really was, why would they say that leaving Egypt? See? But you don't think that you're in the place of your captivity right now because you're able to enjoy a few things. Why? Because you're a home-born slave. Is Israel a servant? Is he a home-born slave? Why is he spoiled? Not just spoiled meaning robbed. Spoiled in the understanding that in order for us to be a nation, we have to be self-sufficient. We cannot depend on this nation for us to become a nation. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take us being led by the Most High and the Most High alone. It's going to take us doing for ourselves. But we so damn spoiled in this place that we don't know how to survive on our own. That's why I liken our people today with cubs born in the zoo. Right? Lions taken out of the wild and put into captivity. Those lions that were taken out of the wild, they knew they was in captivity. But the cubs that's born in that captivity have no understanding of where they really are. Pardon me for 1 second, family. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, but I wanted to continue. So the cubs born in that captivity, they don't realize they're in captivity. Right? Those cubs born in captivity, they used to the zookeepers giving them the food that they need, giving them the water, providing them the shelter, providing them with all the victuals that they need in order for them to live in that captivity. That captivity is their world. They know nothing about the jungle. They know nothing about survival of the fittest. They know nothing about catching their food and doing these things for themselves. That's what our people have become here. You've become a nation spoiled, a homeborn slave. Now, some of us can see and understand when the Most High says he's going to bring us out. He says he's going to bring us out of the land of our captivity. The land of our captivity. When did this stop being the land of our captivity? If our forefathers were brought here forcibly, just because we're born in this captivity, it doesn't mean that's where we belong. So when we look at this situation, it's not just about us being here for 400 years. It's about us becoming slaves in our minds to not even understand that we're not even really free. We're not free. You having a good job, not free. That's not freedom. You being able to have a choice between candidates that don't look like you, that you didn't choose to be over you, that's not freedom. We don't know what freedom is because we've lived under this system all our lives, generation after generation. And just like they complained when they left out of Egypt, we'll complain when we leave out of here. Oh, we left America for this? You mean to tell me I can't eat swine? Listen, man, these brothers don't know what they talking about. We gonna eat some swine. These brothers still talking about the Most High let us out of here. Look, we gonna eat some. Let's go have this swine behind this tree so we don't have to hear nothing that these brothers have to say. The Most High gonna destroy them for that. Why? Because just like me and the brother Elisha was discussing, the things that we think the Most High gonna do in this, everybody expected to happen like a movie. But pardon me, shalom and blessing, brother Elisha. How you doing, bro?
Hey, shalom and blessings, brother. I'm blessed, man. Just try to bring in this Shabbat. Hopefully, we'll end up in the land of the living sometime soon, keeping the Shabbat. But you're 100% correct. Is that our people really don't want to leave this place? If you really think about it, if our people really ready to leave, when our people gathered at the White House or the Capitol, was it the Capitol for the Million Man March? Everybody would have just left their jobs, left their schooling. If our people really ready to leave, we'd be already packed. Nobody would be making vacation plans. Nobody would be talking about what they got to do at work Monday or going on dates, anything like that. Everybody would be in fast preparation to get out of here. Our heart is still here. Now, we might say we want to go, but just look at our actions. Our hearts are still here. Most of the people that go out and fight some of the social injustices, like mass incarceration and police brutality, and we're not getting adequate schooling for our children, adequate health care. At least there's an advocacy on behalf of our people in some way, shape, or form. But even those people are not ready to leave here because we're still trying to take an abusive husband and make him stop hitting us. We're still trying to take a bad situation and say, okay, it's still tenable. But when it comes to, the collection of our people, we have very short tolerance for forgiveness, very short tolerance to join with one another. Even if, not to cast any aspersions on our brothers that's in the camps or any other group, our main goal right now, our main source of speech should be us coming together in some way, shape, or form. Us being together in some type of way, not being separate like denominations. So we still got a lot to fix inside our hearts and spirits to make sure we're actually fighting with our own self, fighting with your own spirit, fighting with your own flesh to want to leave here. The conveniences we have here, we're still kind of letting the propaganda machine where they tell us, oh, y'all don't want to go to Africa. Oh man, it's bad over there. They starving over there. Y'all don't want to go over here. It's a dictatorship over there. Oh, y'all don't want to go there. We got the very oppressor scaring us about leaving the chains that he have around our necks, and we believe him. And then you'll have other brothers say, you go. You have other sisters say, you go. You have other people say, hey, look, why don't you try it first? And then if it worked for you, like, in the end, the Most High is not going to be pleased with anything but faith. And we got to go out on it. Like, we at the end right now. And I know everybody see it. When people put videos up on YouTube about how Bible prophecy is coming to fulfillment, I bet all of y'all click the like. All of y'all put the share button. Everybody inside it, whether you're in the camp or not, whether you're inside Christianity or not, everybody sharing the video, liking the video, commenting on the video, but then your actions go right back to sleep when you go home. Your actions is, I'm cool. But you're testifying that we're in the end times. If we're in the end times, it's no different if somebody says, I have 5 minutes to get to work. Who gets out the bed when it's 5 minutes to get to work? Who jumps in the shower when it's 2 minutes to get to work? Who starts putting their clothes on when you have to be at work a minute from that moment? Man, most people leave a half hour early so they don't end up from some unforeseen circumstances, end up a half hour late. They leave early so you can get work on time. When a person cash their check, they're in a rush to get that check cash if they don't have direct deposit. So what I'm saying is this. If we really believe it's the end, why is our not conduct conducive to that? Why is our conduct not gather ye together, O nation not desired? Why does it not be not still, deliver thyself, Israel? Why is it not like that? We talk that we don't really want that. Some of us is in Madden tournaments. Like, we waiting on that Madden tournament. Some of us want to go to the latest restaurants and talk about how the end is near. Our conduct has to be as such, or it's going to happen unawares. We're going to just like them females who needed more oil for their lamp. We're going to be like those people who are not ready when stuff really hit the fan. And the thing is this, we're not just waiting on some chariots to pick us up and beam us up to Scotty. We got a lot of work to do. What do you think the scriptures mean that thou art my battle axe and weapons of war? Why do you not think that the women of our nation need to support the men of our nation? Because you got to be ready to support them in the fight to come. Pack their bags, pat their back, speak life into them. This is what you're preparing your sons for, your husbands for. And when it comes, you don't want to be one of those people that's like, damn, I didn't know. You want to be ready. You know,
Yeah.
You got to pretend you're on the battlefield already and be ready to go. Some people are, some are not. Some people say they want to go, really don't. Some people really want to go. So Israel, like, that's where our conduct needs to be, with a sense of urgency before the time is here, and then we scattering and you know, we're all over the place. You know, we can't just keep talking, we got to be it.
Indeed. Because once that time come upon us, man, then it's like, okay, what do I do next? You know, but right now it's time to build our minds right to prepare for that. You know, we talk about being a battle axe, and we talk about, you know, what the power that we actually have, man. There's a lot of power, and I like the analogy you use as like an abusive husband, right? What's the best thing a woman that's in an abusive relationship can do in order to make the rectify that situation? What's the best thing she can do? Walk away. Walk away. Walk away from that relationship. History has shown that every time we walked away from a kingdom, we left that kingdom wide open for the Most High to do what he was going to do to it, which is destroy that kingdom. Destroy it. Now we see the judgments happening. We see earthquakes happening all over the earth. We see volcanoes erupting. We see civil unrest throughout the earth. We see financial collapse. We see war looming. We see all kinds of diverse weather. Water turning into blood. Pestilence. What are these things that we not see happening in Egypt when we were saying, let us go? See? But, you know, it's not too many people out there saying that. There's not too many people out there, you know, putting up flyers, posting it on YouTube, posting it on Facebook every day. Let us go. Why?
Yeah, my brother. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because it's just like the brother was saying. We do these things. We go to our daily lives. Go about our daily lives like it's just a fact.
I was going to say, brother, that if you go into the scriptures, if you look at the conduct of our people right before any captivity, you know, in the midst of a captivity, when dangers was brewing, like if you go into the book of Esther and you look at how the edict was passed that our people should suffer certain things, these things was in play, and we were still. We were like, you know, we didn't act like we were supposed to be returning home soon one day. And if you go into it, like a lot of the problems or a lot of the afflictions that come upon us, they always seem to come when we're in a state where we're acting like we're unaware. And then we're in a panic once they happen. It's like we're in our panic. Oh man, you know, the Most High save us. You know, it's a part in the scripture where the Most High says, "Well, where are thy lovers?" You know, I'm gonna see where what your end is. You remember that, brother? When it says we're gonna call for the Most High, I'm like, well, where are your lovers at?
All thy lovers, is that the one where so all thy lovers have forgotten thee?
Right.
Let me grab it.
We at a time right now that all the brothers of our nation should be in some type of communication. When you got that, brother, read that, man, when you get to it. All the camps, we should all have each other's numbers. I'm not talking about on a personal level. I'm talking about whatever big groups there are. Everybody should be in some type of communication. If you look at all the teachings that's going on right now, everybody's teaching something about them. Everybody's talking about the 400 years, but not everybody subscribes to it. But if you think about it, if you look at it, if you ever watch IUIC, IUSPK, you watch GOCC, everybody has a tone that we're at the end. Everybody has a tone that we're at that moment. I'll wait for you, bro.
Here it is right here. I'll read the whole thing if you want.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Jeremiah chapter 30. Now take all this in, and the subtitle of this is Restoration for Israel and Judah, right? And it says, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, thus speaketh the Most High Elohim of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Most High, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Most High spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Most High, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Now hold up right there, bro. It says, even the time of Jacob's trouble. We know that we've been suffering Jacob's trouble since we've been expelled out of the land for like the last 2,000 years, and it gets progressively worse. One of the worst things that can happen to a people is when they forget who they are. When the Most High says, inside the curses, he says, y'all should. It says, until y'all be destroyed. He says, how does it go? Let me grab that up, brother. I don't want to mix up the words. But the Most High talks about that we shall be destroyed. And when a person is destroyed, we're talking about that person has no knowledge of who he is. We're not talking about a complete death of Israel, because the Most High said he will not make an end of us, that Israel should have an expected end. So the Most High is talking about when we won't even remember who we are anymore. That was our destruction point. That's when the resurrection with our people happened. Because now we know who we are. This is stuff that's happening within the last 130 years. Not to say that we didn't know, some of us, who we were going into the 400-year captivity. But I'm talking about when it was stripped away, when we was beaten and we was forced to assimilate into this culture. Now we know who we are again. Now we're talking about with Israel. Now we know that we're Jake. Grab that up, bro. You got it?
It's in Deuteronomy 28 and 20. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High, to observe, to do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Then it goes into the curses, and then 28 and 20 says, the Most High shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
When our people were completely destroyed is when we totally didn't know who we were anymore. Now the Most High has given us back our inheritance. Now we know who we are. Now we know it's the end. Now we know it's time to get ushered back into the land. You can go back to Jeremiah chapter 30.
Just to hit a more accurate one, it says, and I think this is the one you was talking about. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Most High, thy Elohim, to keep his commandments and the statutes which I commanded thee. All right, now going back to Jeremiah.
Now, right now, yeah, but go back to Jacob's trouble. Read that verse again.
The one that I just read?
Now, Jeremiah 30:7.
30:7. And it says in 30:7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Now, if you think about being saved out of it, now if you go from camp to camp, we got different understanding of what does it mean to be saved out of it. Being saved out of your trouble, at least Jacob's trouble, is to know that we are the people for which the promise was given, that we should be raised up to an end, that we should return to our land, and we're going to have a big part to play in that. Israel's hands will get dirty. Israel's hands will do battle. If any of you have ever read the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness, now we're not talking about when you get to that final battle. We're talking about when it starts, when America goes into decay, when all the European nations, when the Most High starts bringing judgments against them, when their brothers start coming against them, those nations start coming against them. Israel's going to have a chance to gather right then. It's only going to be us protecting us at that point. The Most High being over is protecting us, guiding us. And that's where we at now. We need to be trying to get to that end right now before it come upon us, and we get destroyed suddenly. A lot of us be what is it, like a woman in pains, afraid, not knowing what's going to happen next. I remember one time, brother, when they had the hurricane in Louisiana, and I'll never forget the story how I said it was a man. He saw it coming and he died from the fear of it. He didn't die from the hurricane. He saw it and he just dropped dead from the sight of it. Imagine how brothers would be. Some that, if you look at our younger generation now, a lot of them out there looked at as men, but conduct themselves as little kids. Imagine how they'll feel if you see a military presence in the street. You're getting snatched out of your houses. Imagine how people, to see the military kill certain people in the middle of the street, to know that your life is really hanging in the balance and there's nothing you could do about it. Because this country right now is going into a militarized or a police state, if not already. Why do you think they always got footage of something that's happening on the street? Every time something happens, they got footage of it. Mm-hmm. That's when you're seeing a police state. They see everything that's going on. You got cameras everywhere now. The only thing missing is that military presence. Mm-hmm. You got drones flying around at night. Some brothers thinking it's stars up there. They're drones flying over your houses, flying over your cities. Everything is actually being put on camera.
Your roadways being paved in the concrete for tanks to be able to roll down your streets.
Yeah, so when you see that they're fixing your streets up, and they're making the highways bigger, because I don't know if it's in every state, but it looks like almost, at least in the states I've seen since I've been out, that you always see some work being done on the highways. And that's a whole nother subject of who actually own those highways. But just to say, it's going to come a time when men is going to be in pain just from seeing the things that they're seeing. And a lot of the sisters who are running around with makeup on and looking for that bag, man, those will be the last things that you're looking for. Females that won't even know what to do. Go ahead, bro.
And I want to add also that, when we talk, here's the difference between Israelite understanding and Christianity's understanding. Christianity don't take this into account as being something that the gospel would have to be enacted for. That's where the gospel, this is the gospel right here, but he shall be saved out of it. That's the good news. This is the reason why Mashiach died. What did Zacharias say? He said, when the Holy Spirit came over him, he said, the Most High had delivered, had given us a horn of salvation, that we would be saved from our enemies and all those that hate us. But people want to tell us that the 400-year captivity don't got nothing to do with nothing, but it's talking about us being delivered out of the hands of our enemies. That's our salvation. This book, this is talking about us being saved. Why do these people got a problem with us looking for salvation? Why do they got a problem with us saying we want to be saved out of the hands of those that hate us? Why do they have a problem? Because they're doing the work of the adversary. They would rather be slaves. They would rather live under the thumb of someone who could choose, a man that could choose whether or not they can get rid of your whole family or not. But they're telling you this ain't salvation, to be saved out of the hands of your enemies. They want you to die and go to heaven, Israel. All of y'all die and y'all go to heaven so that, you know, the white man can have his kingdom again. So even after you die, you still subject to him afterwards. Because the Jesus in the Most High that they give you, or the God that they gave you, he don't look like you, and he don't got your suffering or any kind of justice for the things that your people suffered in mind. There's no justice for you. We all die, and those of us that worship white Christianity, we get to go to heaven. And the rest of y'all niggas who believe about somebody being recompensed for the wrong that they've done, y'all can go ahead in hell.
Yeah, Key. If you look at the state of this country right now, and even just the European countries, you know, if you grab up the Targums, where it talks about the Most High will plague this place with 250 plagues. Look at what's happening here right now, and know that we have already surpassed, or America has surpassed, the amount of plagues that was poured on Egypt. Like, plagues are happening right now to this country that this establishment recognizes. You're talking about biblical poverty right now. You talk about biblical prophecies coming against, as far as the enemies that America has. You talk about biblical diseases on a scale that this world has never seen, just one after the next. I'm talking about, if you look at the last 30 years when AIDS hit the scene back in the late 70s, early 80s, to how much cancer, the different forms of cancer that's in the earth right now. And I'm talking about then when you get to 2019, how COVID just jumped on the scene. And I mean, listen, if you want to say COVID by itself, let's look at all the variants to COVID. The first COVID, or the novel COVID virus. I can't say that, brother Kenner. I'll make sure before I keep going. I'm not going to say
we ain't getting paid nothing. It's cool.
I'm just going. I'm gonna keep it clean. I'm gonna make sure I don't say nothing that gotta get cut out. But look how many variants has been here since. I mean, I knew it all too well when I was away, because every variant that came out, you was made aware of it. You was more keen to know what those variants were. So you even look at the amount of sexually transmitted diseases that's out there. You know, it's a report that says that most people have some form of HPV. They say 80% or 90% of Americans got HPV. They're saying almost everybody here is sick already. HPV supposedly be able to cause some certain type of cancers. The food causes all types of cancers. There's if anybody has been buying eggs recently, eggs just went on sale again. There's a shortage on food, money. The government is always about to shut down. This place is in great perplexity. This place is being plagued as we speak.
There it is. I got it, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so it says, and when the sun was near to set, a deep sleep was thrown upon Abraham. And behold, 4 kingdoms arose to enslave his children. Terror, which is Babel. Darkness, which is Madai. Greatness, which is Javan. Decline, which is Pharis, which is to fall and to have no uplifting, and from whence it is to be, that the children of Israel will come up. And he said to Abraham, knowing thou must know that thy son shall dwell in the land not their own, because thou hast not believed, and they will subjugate and afflict them 400 years. And also the people whom they shall serve, I would judge with 250 plagues, and afterwards they shall go forth into liberty with great riches.
Now, when you think about that, brother, now if Esau made this up, why would he make up his own destruction? And if America is not the 400 years of captivity, but ancient Egypt is, why is it talking about 250 plagues and not 10?
Here's another question, right? The Jewish community considers the Targums to be authoritative, right? So they know that 400 years did not apply to Egypt. They have it in their Targums, and this is from the Aramaic. So they understand that the 400 years didn't apply to Egypt, but yet they pushed that understanding for a reason. They pushed it with these movies, and they never said anything about it because they knew that we would automatically connect it to us. This is the smoking gun right here that lets you know that they are not the children of Israel. This right here identifies the people without a shadow of a doubt. That's why you have people like Vocab Malone, and you have people like Mike Holloway, and you have the whole UA community trying to speak against this, but never showing how it is incorrect and never showing how it applies to Egypt today. They skip right over that 400 years. One thing you can see that's concerning this prophecy. Now, also, notice this is Genesis 15. This is not another chapter. You go to Genesis 15 in the KJV, it's going to say 400 years of affliction. You go here in the Targums, it's going to say 400 years of affliction. You go to Septuagint, it's going to say 400 years of affliction. Whatever translation you go through, it's going to say 400 years of wrongful treatment or affliction happening to the people. But they skip over that. That number is not incorrect. 400 years. And then it says, what does it say after that? And also the people who they should serve, I would judge with 250 plagues. Egypt only got hit with 10 plagues, family. So if this is authoritative to these people, they know this didn't have nothing to do with Egypt.
Now, if you go back, matter of fact, there's a video that's surfacing on Facebook. You might be able to see it on YouTube or TikTok. It might have originated on TikTok, as far as I know, but it actually shows Israel in like 1910, and I believe the Ottoman Empire still ruled or still had domain over the land of Israel in 1910. I think between 1910 and 1925, I think the Ottoman Empire still was running things at that time. And if you look at the people that was inside this video, for the most part, matter of fact, I can say that for the most part, the whole video was supposedly Jake. Was in the land as of 1910, 1925. You seen all black people, I'm pretty sure some was Christian, a lot of them probably Muslims. If they was under Ottoman rule, a lot of them was operating in the Muslim religion. But I say that to say this: there is no history where we can trace back, until World War II, World War I. All right, good information up next. So the Ottoman Empire was running it then during 1910. But there's no history of a sustained amount of time where these Ashkenazi Jews were in the land. None. Not until the League of Nations in 1949. That 400 years, the 400 years that we've been in this country, and now are going to return to our homeland, substantiated by the Targums. These people that are in the land now, they believe the books that substantiate us. They believe the books that talks about the 400-year prophecy and the plagues that's about to be hit on the nations that afflicted Zion. It goes through the nations, calls them out. Like, they understand these things. They're not in confusion about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we looking at right now when you see on the news, which I seen the other day? I know Brother Banya, that you definitely probably saw it already. You had 12 people in California who died in a blizzard. Died, found in their homes, froze to death, or dead from the blizzard. That don't even sound right. That somebody in California is dying from snow. Did you hear about that, brother?
No, I didn't know about that.
Well, now,
It's kind of hard to keep up with.
Yeah, because the plagues on this place is happening in such rapid succession, and so many things is happening here. You're feeling it. Like you're feeling what's going on. Even its own people are turning against it. You know, how many videos have you seen up about how America is giving all these billions of dollars to support Ukraine in this war against Russia, but yet you have a good percentage of the people in this country that's homeless, suffering through poverty, but yet millions of dollars could be allocated to their brothers over in the Ukraine. Right? You see a lot of stuff like that. Everybody knows that the Most High is punishing this place.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying it's biblical like plagues going on here. Why are we like why are we not hearing these things on the scale that need to be heard? We're not even hearing it. Like we hear these things. Oh yeah, I know that, you know, it's the end. Like, yo, do we know the severity of these things? Do we understand the urgency of these things? Is it not urgency when your rent is due, or you behind on your rent 3 months, and your check come in on the next check you get come in on the date you're supposed to have your rent in? Are you trying to get it there ASAP? We're not even recognizing the urgency of what's being shown in the earth. They are, though. They're the ones talking about this biblical plagues going on right now. Now, if they're recognizing biblical plagues, the scriptures say 250 plagues, then Israel should be saying, look, we got to squash all this yik yak patty whack, give a dog a bone stuff, and we need to come together. We need everybody get on the phone with it. Every camp need to be in communication. Everybody need to be ready. We should have a communication as times get worse, because they will. There's all types of things that America is waiting on right now that they're anticipating from their foes. I just seen something. I mean, this is the last point I'm going to make. We can go back to Jeremiah chapter 30. There's a show on Apple Plus. It's called Liaison, and inside this show, and I only saw it for a brief moment, it was talking about how there was these two hackers, and that it was a cyber attack that was showing certain disasters that were going to happen due to cyber attack. Now, we've been hearing about mass cyber attacks lately, specifically when it came to Russia with that Macy's, I think it was Macy's or whatever it was, about these cyber attacks. Don't you know that one of these cyber attacks can knock out the power grid in this country? Don't you know that there's fears about losing electricity here, setting this place back 100 years? Imagine if all these things come to fruition where you can't pick up the phone. We can't even gather if that happened. We're gonna need a heavenly messenger at that point if these things happen. The Most High is moving us to be ready, and instead of us not standing still, we're standing still.
All these things happening, and even going back to 1948, when we talk about how those people got into that land, that wasn't biblical prophecy. According to what's written, we're supposed to go into the land the same way our forefathers went into the land, where the Most High deals with us in the wilderness first, right? We go under the rod of the covenant. The rebels are purged out. We're dwelling in the wilderness. Jerusalem inhabited as towns without walls. The nations come up against us according to the Dead Sea Scrolls, the War Scrolls, while we're in the wilderness. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The nations come up against us, and as we're fighting, the balance is tipped through Mashiach's return. They didn't get into the land like that. They didn't go through any kind of I don't want to say suffering. They didn't go through any intimate settings with the Most High within the wilderness. They got on planes and trains and came right into that land and they coached on the people that was there.
You know,
I digress.
no, brother, but you know something, we was talking about it earlier, is that everything has to happen in a way where you prove your faith. It has to be a way where you can doubt. Now, if an angel shows up, right? You see an angel in the sky. He got a glittering sword that's on fire. He's radiating light. You can't even look up because he's so bright. And he say, move, you move, because he's right there. There's no way to doubt if that happens. Look at how we got delivered out of Mitzrayim. Look at how we got delivered out of Mitzrayim. When we got delivered out of Mitzrayim, the Most High told Moses to take his staff and hit the water. It left room for a person to doubt. Even though the waters stood up in something miraculous, it was still a way for the people to doubt. Because they saw Moses put the staff in the water and the waters parted. They didn't see an angel hover over them and just touch the water and it spread. And he said, y'all go. Because the Most High is consistently throughout Scripture left away by doing extraordinary things, but still leaving a way for you to doubt to see if you truly were going to follow him. Most High says how he's going to prove you whether you're going to serve him or not. If he says, if a prophet said a thing happened and it happened, but he tells you have to go after other guys, the Most High uses this to prove you, to see if you're going to listen to him or not. Look at everything that happened in the wilderness. It always left a way for a person to doubt. When we were thirsting for water, Masha hit the stone, the water came out. Obviously, the Most High did it, but it left room for us to say, okay, well, Masha did it in some way. It left a way for us to come against a man. When we were complaining about the quails and the fiery serpents came, we didn't see a fiery angel say, hey, listen, y'all serpents get them. No, the serpents came and we prayed the Most High. It still left a way to doubt. That's why our people continually went backwards. They went continually backwards because the Most High says, I'm showing you enough to believe and have faith, but I'm going to leave a way for something in your mind to doubt. If you're really not going to serve me, if you're really not hearing, but you're just afraid. And that's what we're living in right now. Out of all the fantastic things, the wonderful things that's going to happen to lead us out here, it's going to be a way for a seed of doubt to be cast in you, a stumbling block if you really don't believe or if you're weak in the faith. That way it can be proven that you're going to serve the Most High or not. That's why men are sent to lead and not angels coming down in ships sent to lead. Because anybody's going to listen then. You feel what I'm saying, Aki?
Yeah, and it's not going to be sincere.
So when you're seeing these things happen and the Bible say they happen, well, storms are going to happen, or the locusts are going to destroy crops. You see it, but it's still a way to try to make a rational man's or a fleshly sense out of it, to not know that the Most High is bringing judgment on the earth. And that's why even now, in the last time, we're going to have to be faced with seeing things that we know is from the Most High and still having somebody rationalize it as something else. Even when the earth swallowed up Korah and his people, the earth swallowed them up, yes. They didn't see an angel come down and just hit the earth or anything like that. It always left room for you to say, well, maybe it was this, or maybe it was that. We're going off the prophecies written, and the Most High is going to do all these things. And I'm telling you, people, if we don't start believing now, especially after this 400 years, and start making preparations, or at least let our speech be that way, where the let us go is at. I haven't seen not one person since, maybe I missed it, say let us go. That should be like a ADD twitch that you have. You should just start spelling let us go and not even know why you're doing it. It should always ring out when y'all in the chat, because your spirit going to keep on having to say that to yourself to really recognize it, to really know the seriousness of it.
Fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. You know, this word has taught us to attribute all the things that we know as the Most High to something else. You know, just like the brother was saying, he left enough doubt for them to see if they wanted to believe That's our issue. We don't believe the Most High. Us as Israelites, we got to understand that nothing happens without the Most High saying so. Has there been evil done in the city and the Most High has not done it? Everything operates according to his will, his sovereignty. You know, we see these things happening, and we know these things happen in Egypt. We know these things, blood turning into water, and diverse earthquakes and weather and pestilence. We know all these things happen in Egypt. And we know that the Pharaoh that was ruling over Egypt didn't see it like that. Oh, you turned your staff into a snake. Oh, yeah, show them we can do that too. Oh, yeah, that's no great thing. Oh, you dealing with, oh yeah, I know that trick. Oh yeah, we can control that weather too. We can make it rain. But can you flood the whole earth and leave only 3 people to survive it? One family? Oh yeah, you can go out into space, huh? But you can't even explore the depths of the ocean, on the foundations of the earth. You can't even explore that. But you want me to believe that you can go outside of that?
Yeah, Rocky, the brother only 60 games played says, how do I prepare physically? I'm gonna answer that question, brother, if you don't mind, if you want to answer.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Every time you write in the chat, let us go, that's your physical duty right now. When you type let us go in the chat, when you put your TikTok video up or YouTube video and you just say let us go, that's the physical thing that you could do right now aside your faith. Because that right there is letting them know that Israel is on notice. That's letting the heavens know that we're ready and that we're looking for the Most High to fulfill the words that he said to us. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the most magnanimous thing that say that we're prepared, that we're waiting and ready for the Most High. Let us go is enough right now. And having your heart to be ready to go. Physically, everybody or all Israelites in this country can do it. Every Israelite that's scattered to other countries can do. Let us go. Wear a t-shirt. Let us go. When you go to work, have a let us go t-shirt on. Put it on your YouTube channels. And when the brother Banya asks for brothers and sisters to email those videos of let us go, y'all need to kick into action. The brother shouldn't still be waiting on those videos. You're asking what you can physically do. Send those videos and let us go to the brother. Salt of the Earth 144 at gmail.com. Send those clips. It's only going to take you 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to put your camera in front of you on your cell phone and say, let us go. You don't have to have no theatrics behind it. You don't have to look your best. You can wear your bonnets. You don't have to go get a cut. Just say, let us go. And the brother is going to put that physical work that you put into something to reach the rest of our people. But all of our people should be saying, let us go. Everybody who puts something on social media, even Facebook, say, let us go. And that's your physical, that's your physical job right now to do. And that's telling everybody on notice that you're ready for our Father, who we believe and have faith in, to come get us. That's all you got to do right now to have your heart set right.
You know what I want to do too? I want to add on to that, to say that another thing that we must have this, and I don't care how long you've been in the truth, right? And I'm gonna say this again. Fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. We need to have a healthy fear of the Most High. And when I say a healthy fear, I'm saying when you think you're about to do something wrong, the first thought that should come in your head is, the Most High could destroy me for this. That's the type of mindset we need to have. The Most High could destroy me for this, because you don't know when your life gonna end. The Most High got every hair on your head numbered. But we need to be thinking like that. Why? Because that is what motivates us to do things according to his word. When you train up your child don't learn how to love you right off the bat. Your child don't learn how to respect you right off the bat. Your child got to have a healthy fear of you. Why? Because when you tell them not to do something, oh, please don't do that. Nah, you got to spank their behind. You got to spank their behind. They have to have a healthy fear and understand until they grow and understand. When they mature, they learn to love you. And that's what we need to learn with the Most High. Everybody got this Christian mindset that, oh, I love the Most High. And that love don't never stop you from doing the wrong thing. It never stop you from doing the things of lying or stealing or doing whatever you're going to do that you know it's against the Most High. I love the Most High, but he loved me, so, he'll understand. Nah. Fear the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, because it'll stop you from doing the things that you do not need to be doing that's against him. And that'll also make you recognize when we see these things happening in the earth, these are the things that should make you pause. The Most High just destroyed like 50,000 people over there. Hold up, man. Let me go pray. Let me go and make sure I'm right with the Most High. Father, your grace and your mercy abounds. Please have mercy on your son, because I know I ain't right. I got some things I need to. Could you help me out with those? Pray, man. Do not cease praying. This work is for all of us as a people, as a nation. That's what we have to do. That's the least we can do. Let us go. The least we can do. It's our reasonable service to the Most High is to fear him and to be obedient to him. That's the least of our service. But what we going to be called to do? Mashiach said, greater works than these shall you do. The faith and our belief in him is determined by our obedience to him. Faith without works is dead. How could you believe in something that you don't obey? How could you believe when you ignore? That's not faith. That's fantasy. That's religion. This is our way of life. They worship, they know not what. We know what we worship. We know. That's the difference between Israel and the other nations. That's the difference between us and other people. People can tell us we not seeing these curses on us. We feel these curses on us. We know how our people got over here. We know what goes on in our neighborhoods and our families. How it hurt us. Each individual. This is not an Israelite in this room who hasn't felt the curse in some way or another. Who hasn't went out to try to get a job and felt excluded and judged because of the color of your skin and your nation. Who hasn't felt like they're less than because, who they are and where they grew up at. Who haven't felt rejected, denied by themselves, by their own people, and by the world. So we know who the Most High is. We know. But we need to start putting forth that faith and start showing a healthy fear towards the Most High. Because what's happening right now, it's not even, it's the tip of the iceberg, family. That's the tip of the iceberg. The things that's going to happen, man, we got to get out of his way. We got to prepare to leave. We got to say, let us go, so we can get out of the way. The Most High said, gather thyself before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon thee. Gather yourself before the curses fall on these nations completely.
Yo, Banya, just to say what you're saying, the same thing that you're saying. When the Most High, when we was in Babylon, matter of fact, we was in the land, in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, the Most High said, put a mark upon those who sigh and cry in Israel. Let us go. That's what that means. That means that you're not in agreement with Babylon. You're sighing and crying to be let go because you want to keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. LSC. That's what let us go means. Most High said, put a mark upon those who sigh and cry. Everybody else was marked for death. We're saying we're not in agreement with this. We're ready to go. We're sighing and crying about the abominations that's done here. How his law is cast behind their backs. How our people, man, is running around as transgenders. Man, our people are put on front stage to be the most abominable people in this country. The puppet masters sitting there in the shadows. They throw Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union on TV, forcing a boy to be a girl or encouraging it, to have his manhood took away and allow that unclean spirit to have full dominion in their family. Shows like Pose, where we get to be the face of homosexuality. Hell, you go on social media, our women are the face of being they can't pass a loyalty test. You look at the music, our men are drug dealers and defamers of our own people. We're the face of every evil thing in this country by the hand of the puppet master. Let us go as us sighing and crying. Look, Father, we tired of this. Father, we let us go according to prophecy. We believe what you said. We don't agree with this. We're sick because it's against your commandments. We're sick because we love you. We hate these things because you hate them. We know they're evil. We don't want no part of this place when you plague them. Get us out of here. Don't leave us here when you plague this place. That's what let us go mean. You sighing and crying, man. How many of y'all put videos up or memes up talking about the wicked things that go on here? Y'all posting that stuff on YouTube about the abominations here and the evil things that go on. The TikTok Bible verses about what's happening here. All that stuff say let us go. All that stuff say I'm sighing and crying about what's happening, Father. I hate evil. I hate those who don't keep your commandments. When every time you cry out or you cringe or you turn your face because one of our people do some wicked behind stuff, man, that shows support of this nation, that's you sighing and crying. That's you in your heart. Like how when it says that David, because it was in David's heart to build a temple for the Most High. The Most High credited that to him. That's all he needed was for it to be in his heart that he built the temple. His hands was too dirty with blood from all the wars, but it was in his heart to do it. It was as if he did it at all. Your heart got to hate this place. Your heart got to hate the things you see here. You know. They got the dude Jason Manoa, man. He was filling on one of his daughters in a video. Why is he not being prosecuted? The thought of that man turns my stomach. I don't want to see no damn Justice League movie with that man in after seeing that. I want to support nothing that man is in. That's how your heart got to be like that about everything that happened here. And if you ain't saying let us go, that's your physical work.
Yeah. Next. He said, "Wait, what?" Yeah, Jason Momoa is he's a damn pedophile.
Yeah, man. Nobody's saying nothing about that. I don't man touch that little girl like that. Nobody's saying that. You know why? Because he's favorable with the elite. Man, any of y'all see that new House Party movie? Did you check that out, Brother Bonnie?
You told me enough, man. I don't even want to.
Come on, man. Yo, let me tell y'all something, man. Every time they use our people to put forth abominations, every time. We gotta show that clip in there, man. You want to talk about the Illuminati, man? They actually took and put a clip in there with our people gathered at an Illuminati party, where one of the things that they were doing, they were passing around glasses of blood. Now let me tell you something. For this movie to be directed, this is a house party movie we remember back in the 80s. Nostalgia should kick in for all of us who remember that, man, when we was young. For them to take and do a reboot of that movie and to have our people so entrenched in the Illuminati, drinking glasses of blood, man, they doing all that stuff to show, to let us know that LeBron James and a lot of them other celebrities is with that because they produced the movie. That we know who's backing them when they did that. Come on, man. They use us. And what do you think happened? These unclean spirits are saying, look at your people. They're accusing us day and night. Hey, look at your people. They're not ready to go nowhere. They just as bad as the nations. Look at them. All we got to do is throw them a couple bucks. Ain't none of your people sighing and crying. All of them get down with it. All of them watch that stuff. All of them get their popcorn on Friday night. Unclean spirits, man, is testifying against us. Your Satan's is testifying against us. What does it say in Psalms 127? I believe in 3. Was it Psalms 127:3? He says, "I would not set my It says, I would not say. I would not set my eyes upon any unclean thing. I hate those who turn aside. It shall not cleave to me." In fact, let me go to it because I know I'm not saying it right. Psalms 127:3. The psalm by our father David. Psalm 127, I believe it's. I think it's 127. Or is it 130? Let me see.
Psalms 130.
I think it's Psalms 130. Let's see. But I'm gonna have it 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. It's up in there somewhere.
What's the key words?
Turn aside. I hate those who turn aside. Let's see, Psalms 101:3.
101:3. I got it.
All
right. Psalms 101:3. Oh, I'll start at 1. A psalm of David. I will sing of mercy and judgment. Unto thee, O Elohim, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me.
Yeah, stay right there, brother. We gonna read the rest of this chapter. Let me just address that real quick. It says, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. Y'all remember in the psalm says that when we saw adulterers, he said we was like partakers with them. Man, we see these abominations, we see these sins against the Most High. Man, we too afraid to even to object to these things, to show that we're not on board. When the last time you seen a celebrity of our people, whether in sports or on TV or in any celebrity capacity, say, yo, I disagree with homosexuality because in the Bible it say that? When the last celebrity you ever seen on TV say, I don't agree with transgender, it's an abomination to the Most High? They all got their reasons why they might disagree with portions of it, but then they say they don't have a problem with it. But David said, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of those who turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. Why we don't have one brother, one sister that go on TV and say, you know what? I don't get down. There you go, brothers. That's it right there.
Yeah. Hold on.
I don't agree with transgenderism. I don't agree with lesbianism.
Hold on. Let me see. How you spell Debo? Oh, here you go.
Debo not in that one.
I know.
But even the ones that's broke, when they coming out as the Most High is the reason they don't get along with it or they don't believe in it. We're not seeing none of that.
Check this out. Check out what he say right here.
I'm the most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood. Why do they not like you? I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. Get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking that's gunner. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
And They try to make it look like it's innocent. It's not innocent. It's not innocent at all. These are the things where you sign and sign, Israel. These are the things where you're saying, I hate the abominations that I'm saying. You know, a lot of brothers is checking out a lot of these things. A lot of sisters, man, is engaging in certain things that, you know, these things are to our shame, to our detriment. You know, the heavens is looking for us to sign and crying and saying, let us go. The heavens is looking at those who are in agreement with the scriptures. I'm talking about both in word and in deed. It's not worrying about being everybody's best friend just for the sake of having people around them. And they're using us to push this agenda. Everywhere you see, where white people or any other nation, the face of every homosexual act or every sexual act or every adultery. It's a reason why they're using our people to be the forerunners of this stuff, is because they know we're at the end. And they want to be able to say they got righteous indignation against us because we partaker in these things. They want to be able to accuse us. They don't want somebody, they don't want they don't want the Mashiach to get behind me, Satan. These are the things that we want to happen for us. And my servant is faithful, but you can't have it both ways. So we got to do what we have to do in these situations. Let us go. We don't agree with this. We hate it. We don't want to see it. We need to be, when brothers is going on TikTok or Twitter, man, we need to be calling out Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, man. You ain't fighting for no righteous cause. You done made your own people abominable. What other person is out there, man, that's ushering, and when white people usher in they little kids to get that surgery to be boys and little girls that to change their gender, they're not on TV for that. Ain't no celebrity ushering no stuff like that. They're like, nah, let's get them niggas to do it. We'll show that they're against their God. How many of them is in agreement? Let's go to verse 4, bro. Let's just finish reading that chapter, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Verse 4. A froward heart shall depart from me. I would not know a wicked person. Whoso privately slander his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. My eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Most High.
That's where our conversation got to be, Zion. That's where we have to be with it.
Yep. Let's continue with this Jeremiah. Jeremiah 30:8 says, For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High of hosts, that I will break his yoke off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, but they shall serve the Most High their Elohim, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Most High, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Let me stop right there. So, this people telling you that it don't matter who Israel is, but the Most High is telling Israel and Judah that He would save them from all the nations where he scattered them. He would not make a full end of thee, but he will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So that's what these curses are. They're punishment and correction for our misbehavior. All right? And it goes on in Jeremiah 30:12. For thus saith the Most High, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause. They have that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thy iniquities, because thy sins were increased. So the Most High is telling Israel why these things happen. He's telling you your wounds are grievous. He's saying that your bruises is incurable, that you can't even heal the bruises on you. Why? Because you're under the hand of the people that continually bruise you. A wound can't be healed if it's continually being struck. But the only way that we can stop being struck is to leave. That's the only way. Hold on. Did you have anything to add on to that, brother?
I mean, when the Most High says thy bruise is incurable, if you look at how the scriptures talk about why should thou be beaten anymore? You know, the Most High, through all the things that Israel has been through, it's like tattooed in our mind. The 400 years of rape, robbery, and murder, mass incarceration. We feel that. You ever had, when you see nations, when they talk about nations addressing us saying, well, why are they like this or why are they like that? When you see our kids out there selling drugs, killing each other, you see our women acting as prostitutes, but don't even know that's what they're acting like when they're just looking for a man that got a couple dollars in his pocket. That's what it's talking about. That bruise is incurable. Look at the effect that it has on you. You have a grievous wound. Your actions, your attitude, your mannerisms, the way you think, the way you move, you're affected by all the punishments that I poured out on you. It's nothing can heal that. It's not something that you can just cure. Even when we get to the land, it said the Most High will make us to remember what our sin was. It's stained on our blood. It says the life is in the blood. Those curses is in the blood. That wound is in the blood. That lifeline to all the Israelites that lived before us, that suffered as we suffer and going through all time in history. Man, it's like it's a mark in it. It's written in it. All the abuse that Zion has suffered. You go into the book of Daniel when it talks about nothing has happened like what has happened to Jerusalem. No other nation can claim what we can claim was regarding the oppressions and the suffering that we had. It's tattooed in us. We remember, we feel it. Our bruise is incurable. That curse that's on us can't be cured with medicine. It can only be cured when the Most High turn back our captivity. And even then, we'll know the things that we've done. We know what made us fall from the Most High. And this is what the nations are afraid of. The nations are afraid of us waking up and saying, okay, I had enough. I tried my way. I want your way. I want your way, Father. I want to turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments. There is no other way but for me to turn to you. Brother says, yeah, when you have a wound, you're too busy trying to guard that wound, leaving yourself open for other attacks. You can't patch up the wound. He needs to be completely healed. That's right. Nobody can cure the wound that Israel has. A lot of Israel still debate whether they're Israel or not. Sometimes you'll even find yourself trying to defend yourself in a religious aspect. Sometimes, man, a lot of our people forget that we're not a religion. We're a people. We're not a set in somebody's church, but we have a covenant with the Most High. Sometimes we don't even remember. We call each other niggas and black and all that stuff. Sometimes we fall off and not remember that we Israelites and we're Israelites only. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's up, my nigga? that that wound is incurable. You can't even separate yourself, because the Most High going to make you remember how great your fall was, how great our sin was. But what did the Most High say? You know, he going to put it into all those nations, but he's not going to make a full end to us. We haven't inspected in, but these things we feel, we're supposed to feel these captivities. We're supposed to see these things, because let me tell you something. That's how you make a difference between those who agree and don't agree. You know, that's why your answer got to be yay, yay, or nay, nay. Do you agree or you don't? It's a yes or no answer. Do you agree with how this place conducts itself? Do you agree with the transgenderism? Do you say, well, I don't have a problem with transgenders, you know, I don't agree with, you know, but I don't have a problem with them. Now I got a problem with them. How can you not have a problem with a lesbian or a homosexual? How can you not? How can you not have a problem with somebody who makes the Sabbath day what they want to make it? Anytime the Most High tells you to do something or gives you a commandment, how can you not have a problem when somebody does contrary? Yeah, I have a problem. Do I get to control your actions? Do I get to dictate what you do? But I got a problem with it. You know why? Well, it's not because it's personal. It's because the Most High don't like it. And because it's in my spirit not to like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I have a problem with it. I know that your life is in jeopardy if you do that. Yeah, I have a problem with it. Why don't never ask somebody who's willing to tell them, nah, man, I don't agree with transgenderism or lesbianism or any other abominations that they do, because the Most High God has that stuff set for death. Why nobody ever says that? Who's on TV with that? I'm pretty sure somebody said it. They probably just don't get the green light to get no screen time.
Mm-hmm. The moment they say it,
That's what I'm saying. It's a big, you have to show that difference between you and other nations. The law, statutes, and commandments is supposed to be the difference between you and everybody else. That's supposed to be the light on you. That's setting the difference between us with the whole word holy, set apart. Be ye separate from every evil thing. Can't agree with none of it. Now, it's true. I don't have a heaven or a hell to put anybody in. But the Most High has given us more than enough of his words to know what puts you in it. You got a lot of people say, God is my judge. Well, God has judged you. Israel, when you speak to a person and you say that's against the commandment, God has judged the man. He has judged the woman. When that person says only God can judge me, if somebody can speak the word of the Most High to him, then the Most High has judged them right then. The Most High has put them on notice right then. You know, a lot of times when you teach a person this truth and they come into the truth, you actually have set before them good and evil. Life and death. You set it before them. Not that you did anything, not that you have some position where you can put some, but you actually set life and death right in front of them when you teach them this truth. Good and evil, you gave it right to them. But it's the Most High's words. You're just the vessel that speaks it. The Most High spoke to that person. Every righteous thing that come out your mouth, the Most High has put somebody on notice or given somebody knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That person can't say, well, only God can judge me. Scriptures say, didn't I say in your law, ye are gods, but you shall die like one of the princes? Why is it that every black man can say, yeah, I know we gods? Why is it that you know this up until I tell you that you're doing something against the commandment? You doing something against hey, boy, bro?
Nah, it's straight up.
Everybody has a word for affirmation, you know, all the way up until it's the finger being pointed at them. And it's not that we're there to judge somebody to death, but life is saying, yo, brother, that's wrong. That's loving your neighbor as yourself. So all these things that is unfavorable in this country to disagree with, like homosexuality, transgenderism, a lot of forms of capitalism, you know, usury, all these things that's actually against the people that the Most High set on the earth. And I seen this white dude. He was on, I believe, YouTube or Facebook. Man, it's one of them, because you can watch so many videos, you forget where they come. But he said that how is it that a man can tax me for living on this earth? He's like, I don't understand. The white dude was saying this. He was like, how can he tax me for something that God gave to everybody? And I mean, that's the words he used. I'm saying Most High. But how can a man tax you for water, tax you for air, tax you for the land you stand on? Now, you put that in its full scope. How can a man take everything that belonged to you, take your name, take your land, and then tell you that you're a terrorist against his people if you don't agree with it? My son and daughter said to me yesterday when I picked them up from school, they said that when the Pledge of Allegiance come on, my kids were singing some song so that had to do with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I said, listen, I'm not going to lie. I got a very, very, it's hard for me to hear anything that have to do with any support of this nation. It's hard. So when I heard my kids saying it, I said, you don't have to ever stand up or sing that song. You tell your teacher that you're not allowed, that the only person that you're allowed to, what does it say in there? What does it say in the Pledge of Allegiance? Says, pledge allegiance to the flag. I told my kids, like, listen, you tell your teacher that you don't have to stand for that and that you don't pledge allegiance to anything but the Most High. You tell them that your dad said that. And that you don't ever have to stand for that Pledge of Allegiance again. But up until that, my kids, they're saying it because this nation is, even as a child, is trying to pull your kid's heart towards it. It's trying to pull your kid's heart to love in this place. It's trying to make its laws, its ways, its spirit to follow on your children from very young. So my son is saying that, Dad, they're not allowed to teach God in school, but so then it begs you to wonder, what is this God that they're talking about at the end of the Pledge of Allegiance? If there's a separation between church and state, or a separation for religion and the academia institutions.
Mm-hmm. Under what God?
Right. So my littlest son says, well, I think the one God, Dad. I said, no, they're not talking about the one God. Because the one God wouldn't have you pledge allegiance to no flag. Mm. Mm. So my kids are saying, well, we get sent to the principal's office. So I got a feeling that sometimes this week I'm gonna get a letter from the school. One of my kids getting sent to the principal's office, based off of something I said, and but I told him that I wouldn't be worried about that. But the point I'm trying to make is that everything that's like this place, how can we have any agreement with it? Everything they do is to cast the Most High's words behind them. Everything. And then teach your kids that stuff.
You know what, brother? Going back to what you were saying before too, how people say, you're judging them, that's just a defense mechanism to not be able to hear the truth. All right, so there's two types of judgments. The judgment when you discern, and the judgment when you enact the penalty for someone doing something against the law. Would I be correct if I said that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So 1 Corinthians 6:1 says, dare any of you having a matter against another go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints? So he's saying, don't go to other nations, go to Israel, right, concerning the law. It says, do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye not worthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? All right? So we're supposed to have judgment and understanding. We're supposed to judge a matter. That's why the Most High gave us the ability to discern good from evil. Not so we can just let our judgment rest and not say anything. The scripture says this in 1 Corinthians 2:14. This is why we are made to judge. It says, but the natural man received not the things of the spirit, not things of the spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who hath known the man of the Most High, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Mashiach. So because we think the way Mashiach thinks, we're able to judge matters. righteously. Right? The natural man don't receive that. He don't understand the spiritual things. And when we talk about spiritual, we're not talking about some invisible thing or some ghost. Right? Understanding spiritual things it's understanding thought processes, understanding mentalities. Right? Coveting, that's a spiritual sin. Because what does coveting bring forth? Coveting bring forth murder and theft and backbiting. You understand? But go
brother,
ahead.
If you look at it when it says, but he himself cannot be judged. A natural man has no way to judge a spiritual man. A spiritual man, go back to it says, but he that is spiritual judge of all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. There's no way for a natural man to judge a spiritual man. A spiritual man walks according to the law of the Most High. A natural man has no way to judge him.
You understand? No way to discern because he doesn't have that understanding.
That's right.
The law is foolishness to him.
That's right. The law is spiritual. The spiritual man is already abiding in the spirit of the Most High. Who's going to judge him? What natural man can come out of any place, come out of any mountain, any building, any house, and judge him on anything? There's one law that giveth life, and there's one law that can send a man unto death. The spiritual man is abiding in the laws of life. The natural man has no ability to judge him, nothing to come back with, nothing to say. There's nothing he can do. That's why he cannot judge.
Wrong.
What'd you say, bro?
He doesn't have any guidelines.
That's right. What rule he going to judge him by? That the Most High is going to honor over his own law. That's why he can't judge him. So if you speaking the commandment to a person, he say, man, no man can judge me. Or he say, well, what about you and your delivery? Well, you don't do everything right. Well, brother, what is my offense? No, I mean, I in my life, in this truth, you know how many times I've hit a brother with that? When I've said, well, brother, what is my offense? It's like, well, you got to judge me. Well, if I'm addressing you according to the law, you can't address me according to the law. So what is my offense? And a brother, I've never had a brother say, well, you've done this. And it's not to boast anything like that, just to say that when a brother says, well, you can't judge me, you don't do everything. Well, brother, what did I do? So I can repent right now. I'll repent right now. Tell me what I did. In what way did I break the law of the Most High God? So I can fall down on my face right now. Let me know, brother, be my neighbor. And the brother never have nothing to say. I'm just saying.
You know what that reminds me of, bro? And I always bring it up when that one brother was that one brother was telling us that we don't listen.
Oh yeah.
Like, all right then, brother, go ahead, teach.
Yeah, you got the mic.
You all don't want to listen. Okay, brother. All right then, okay. Teach us. Teach. You all don't listen to what I'm trying to say. Like your brother, we listening now.
Well, yeah, that is one of the favorite phrases of people. God knows my heart. But this is the thing. A person can't say their heart is one thing, but their actions is contrary to what their heart is. A person's heart, if it's not filled with sin, is going to be sorrowful by the mistakes that he make. Intentional wrongs and intentional evils is almost going to be impossible for a man that is truly spiritual. He's not going to contrive evil in his mind and said, let me act it out, that he should be in a situation where he said, well, God knows my heart. Most people that say the Most High knows my heart, they're doing something completely against the Most High's law, completely against the words that he spoke. But yet somehow they think their actions is different from the heart that led them to do it, when that's impossible. You know, it was a thing that a person used to say. They used to say nobody's perfect, but what was the words they used to use? I'm trying to think of it. And I used to always say to that person, what was it? It got to come to me. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Maybe I'll say that, Joel, for another day. But it actually was a good. It was actually a good dialogue. But when a person says, "The Most High knows my heart," matter of fact, that's what it is. The only time you are what you say is when what you say you actually do. Nobody can ever say a thing. They can't promote themselves and say this is what I am if they don't do the things that pertain to what they're saying. You're only what you say when you do what you say. And a lot of times you have people that do things that's contrary to the Most High, but then they want the Most High to look at their heart any different from the actions that they do. But man committed adultery with another man's wife. I'm talking about literally wait for him to go to work, knock on his door and lay with his wife. He can't turn around and say to somebody, hey, man, the Most High knows my heart. Your heart is full with adultery and fornication and lust. You're not separate from what your heart is. Your heart is that. The Most High, when the Most High looks at your heart, that's what he sees. The action that you saw that man go to work, you knocked on his door and went in and hollered at his wife. I seen on one of them judge shows recently on YouTube, a pastor was running around with the deacon's wife. Deacon was suing him. Forget what he was suing him about. And the reason that he found out that the pastor was messing with his wife, because the pastor was also messing with the deaconess, and the deaconess told the dude. So not only was he having sex with the deaconess, but he was messing with the deacon's wife. Damn. And he just sitting there talking about he's working on some things. He's a pastor over at church. What road is that man traveling? The only road that man traveling is the one that's smoking with fire and brimstone. His heart is no different than the actions that he undertook to take another man's wife. Somebody lie and wait and murder, but know the truth, man. He's no different from what his actions was when he fulfilled that kill. You're not separate from your actions. Because the book of life is written, or when a person is taken out of the book of life, or when a person's deeds is brought before him, his actions are brought before him. Not most of the things he thought and didn't carry it out. Because we know that when the scripture talks about the son who said he wouldn't do, but later he decided to do it. And then the Mashiach said, well, who honored this father? It's the one who did it, not the one that said he was going to do it and not do it. So when your actions is standing before you in the judgment, it's the things you do that you're judged on. It's the things that the iniquity, the difference between sin, transgression, and iniquity. The iniquity is the plan. The sin and the transgression are the acts. But the iniquity is the plan, it's the intent behind what you did. This the murderous intent there. This the wrongful intent there. This is how you carrying it out, how you decided what you're going to do. After you carry it out in your mind, what comes after that? You fulfill the action. That's why the Mashiach says that, if you look upon a man's wife, then you committed adultery in your heart already. If you committed adultery in your heart, you're not far from doing it. No man commits adultery in his heart and fulfill those thoughts and not seek to fulfill those actions. The actions come next. It's almost as good as if he did. And if he try and fail, he still fulfilled it. So yeah, when people say the Most High know my heart, their heart better line up with doing what he said to do. There's nowhere in the world for a person to say that the Most High knows my heart, but then their heart to act contrary to the Most High's commands, because that's exactly what the Most High sees when you try the reins of your heart. He sees the things that you knew were wrong against him, that you carried out, and that your heart, that iniquity in you formed, caused you to carry out those things.
People be thinking they can hide from the Most High. They think he don't see him. That's what that is.
It says Most High's eyes is in every secret place, beholding the good and the evil. So there's nothing is hid from him.
You know what saying I like that saying where it says it's not important what you do when everybody's watching, but what you do when you think nobody's watching.
That's right. And that's a good thing to teach your kids. You got to always let your kids know that nobody in the history of man or women have ever gotten away with anything. because there are things you don't see your kids doing. They're thinking they got away with things. And let me tell you, they conspire against you. They learn devious plans. They learn iniquity when they get away with things. And there's always a good rule of thumb to teach your children. Listen, nobody in the history of man or woman has ever gotten away with anything. For where the times they got caught by men and men's eyes did behold them, or the times that men didn't see them and they didn't get caught. The Most High sees everything. He sees Most High's eyes in every secret place beholding the good and the evil. That child will notice that you're never getting away with anything. You're never getting away with any thought. And the very thing that you thought you got away with, and you turn around later and you lose your money, or you get put on punishment, or you get in trouble for something you didn't do. The Most High is not mocked. The Most High is getting you back. I mean, I'm not going to say put it that way. The Most High is judging you. When you think these unfortunate things are happening to you, like, why is this happening? The Most High saw what you did. Everything that you do will be punished. Even the things that you swiftly say I'm sorry for when you realize your mistake. You're going to get some type of recompense. You might wait all day to get home to eat a steak, have it prepped, primed, and ready. It's sitting inside the broth or the brine. You got that thing ready to go, and you ready to put it in the frying pan. You put it in the frying pan. You came in, you tracked some mud inside your house. Oh man, I'm gonna wipe it up later. I'm gonna get to the steak, get it on the plate. Minute you get on the plate, it slips off and hit the floor. That's a punishment. I know every last one of us has had that to happen. Turn and knock something down and break a glass we really liked. Every little thing you're getting a punishment. And every way in this life, you're seeing those punishments on you carried out. And let me tell you something, it's better to get your punishments in this life and not the next. When life is beating you up, you're getting little punishments for things that you do. And it's making you, as orange as men are tried in the fire, so as acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So nobody gets away with nothing. No deed that no man ever that was born on this earth has ever gotten away with anything.
No. Genesis 15:14. Yes, there is a 400-year prophecy concerning slavery and discrimination in America. The captivity in Egypt was less than 400 years. Our people were enslaved after Joseph died. Amen.
Right. You go in the book of Jasher, it says that it wasn't until Levi died, which was like 100 and something years later, that, matter of fact, I'm going to grab it up. It says when Levi died is when the affliction started.
You know, these people, some of these people, such as this man right here. Let me grab him. This guy right here. This guy by the name of Mike Holloway. He don't know math. This guy don't know no math, bro. I think this guy, he's a straight up liar, man. Jesuit trained liar.
Urban apologist for Christ.
Urban and apologist for Christ. Oh, check out his intro. He think he really going in. Check this out. Check this out. You're gonna laugh when you hear this. Look, Mike with his whole this 3 months ago, 1,000 views. Good going, Mike. Nobody want to hear that garbage though. Hold on, let's take a look.
You trying to help Mike Holloway? Mike Holloway did it in by himself. Mike Holloway, he held in the Lord Church. He's been doing this for a minute. Mike Holloway, he held in the Lord Church. He's been doing this for a minute. He's been doing this for a minute. He's been doing this for a minute. Therefore, know that only those of faith are the sons of Abraham. So listen, if you don't have faith in God, I don't care what your 23andMe say. I don't care what your DNA is. I don't care if your birth certificate is signed by King David himself. You are not a son of Abraham. You have your father. Don't measure truth by numbers. We measure truth by scripture. The Bible is the authority. The Bible, the scriptures, they are no jail. Paul said, I would give my life for this. As a matter of fact, they told Paul, if you go to Jerusalem,
brother, we need to do that fair use.
Paul said, I'm not only ready
brother called it up.
Yeah,
you want to get that fair use?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Even if you fair use, he probably would strike it.
Need to die for this. And you reduce this man's message to a brother just trying to get out of jail? Come on, Cap. You see, you're an Israelite and you believe in Christ, to God be the glory. Hello. Right? But if you following this brother here, you following the wrong brother. Hello. And sin and come short of the glory of God. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Y'all remember when Jesus was tempted in the wilderness and Satan took him up on the high mountain and looked over and said, all these things will I give you only if you bow down and worship me. He don't have no new tricks. He's offering the church the same thing. That's why some churches have bowed down, because they want to be rich and they want to be saved. But God is saying some of you are going to hell because you've compromised my word. Church of God,
Yo, brother, one second, please. It amazes me that when these brothers, these Christian cats read the Bible, that they read they barely touch the Gospels. I'm not even going to address the Gospels because they barely read the Gospels, but they preeminently go into the epistles, Paul's writings and letters, and they somehow quote verses inside these letters and say they're reading the scriptures. Now, I'm not saying that those are not scriptures, but they're not the scriptures that Paul and them were reading when they were teaching the very words that they spoke inside those letters. It amazes me that for some reason they read a verse inside the New Testament, or they'll read something that Paul said in Ephesians, and then they'll jump to another thing Paul said in another one of his writings, and they'll use Paul to precept Paul. And they won't never touch none of the prophecy of the prophets, the same things that Paul is reading, but they say that they're, somehow you reading scripture or quoting scripture or somehow affirming or, teaching what Paul has said. It goes back to the dude named John MacArthur. John MacArthur. He said he would call himself a Paulite, something like that. A lot of these so-called Christian teachers are Paulites. And they're not even teaching accurately what Paul actually taught. They're actually butchering what Paul actually taught. They're allowing Paul to be the biggest stumbling, or matter of fact, Paul's words, they're allowing Paul's words to be the biggest stumbling block between them and what the scriptures actually mean. So you got that going on throughout all of Christianity. And a lot of times you see brothers somehow debating with some of these Christian teachers. And let me tell you, I'm not going to come against our people, because a lot of our people are in Christianity. For us, Christianity actually is a schoolmaster. All of us was raised in some form of Christianity, if not, Islam. So Christianity had a good to reintroduce us to the scriptures that the Most High gave us as his people. So we can't say that all Christianity had no effective use for us. It actually did. Actually had a use to help bring us back to what is actually true, because if they had not opened the book to teach us Christianity, we could not read the book to understand that it is a covenant the Most High made with his people. Christianity had its use for most of our people, and so you got to look at that perspective to say we were raised in that ideology, and the Most High used it to wake us up. And sometimes being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, is a way you got to move and operate. And because they opened up the book to teach us Christianity, we now can read the book of the Israelites. We can now understand that this is where our heritage is at. Had we known that going, we probably messed it up. We probably was like, no, that's so. It was a purpose for it. But looking at our people now, we got to approach them with the same level of respect and love. Some of them we got to cut. We got to let the scriptures be that two-edged sword to show them. But we all came up in it for a reason. So when you're seeing a lot of these brothers and they choose to go with that doctrine, it's not a doctrine of faith. Christianity is not a doctrine of faith at all. It's actually one of faithlessness in a lot of ways. I'm not going to say every Christian religion is all the way off. Some things they have right. Some things they have right. Not a lot, but some. But for the most part, those inside the Christian religion think they're operating in faith when they don't. They're actually kind of just hedging their bet a little bit. They're hanging on the words that our slave masters taught us because truly they're falling into the same spirit some of our other fathers had that didn't want to change. A lot of our other fathers didn't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why the land spewed us out. So some of us are just tapping into that same spirit our fathers had. Some of them, the ones who didn't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and we're tapping into it here in a way where we can be somewhat religious, but still do what we want to do. Still do all type of abominable practices, man. You got a lot of people in wayward ways of life that's talking about they believe the Bible. You got gay pastors that teach the Bible to people. They just omit the part that talks about man should not lay with mankind like with womankind. They claim to believe, because that's the confusion that goes on here. That's how Christianity has been used to destroy our people in a lot of ways. But we got to remember that's where a lot of us came from. So you understand why these dudes is teaching what they teach. They in the best party in town. If you can do what you want to do or make any matter of mistake that you want to make, and then you can still just ask for forgiveness for things you're doing wrong, evils that you're perpetrating on the earth. But yet all you got to do is keep saying sorry for the same thing over and over again, and your religion says you go to heaven for that. And why wouldn't you? If one's religion tells them they get 12 virgins when they go to the kingdom, seems like a pretty good deal to a carnal man. That's what a lot of Muslims do. Hey, they get 12 virgins. So a lot of these things that men have taught over the years is why people end up going back to these things. And then when you come along, you say, well, no, this is the real truth, and this is who we are. Majority of people won't believe. That if you go into the book of 2nd Ezra, it says the Most High desires that which is precious. And it goes through the different metals in the earth, bronze and I guess clay, bronze, silver, and gold. And the Most High desire the gold on the earth. Everybody's not meant to be gold. There's a reason why gold is not easy to find. There's a reason why gold is scarce on the earth, and that's why all the world's currency tend to go by a gold standard. At least that's what it's supposed to be, rather. That's 72 virgins. Well, I know it was 72 virgins. There's a lot of virgins. You scarcely find one virgin in a whole state in America now. But not taking any shots at our married sisters and not like that. I'm just, that's just the truth. That's funny too. But that's just, and then look, the brother. You got a lot of we full of fornication, man. Like we're in Babylon, man. We're at that well in the book of Joshua where they gave into those type of things. But just to say, you made me forget what because you jumped on.
Yeah, I'm listening in the background and I'm like, oh man.
But it's true though. If you think about it's a part inside the book of Hosea where it talks about the Most High is not going to punish the daughters of Zion for their adulteries or something to the, I think it's Hosea 4:14, something like that. And it's a reason that we all are outside of our rightful estate. We're not coming together. We don't have arranged marriages, and we're not meeting. We're not getting the women in their flower, and the young and our men are soiled with fornication by the time we do meet a woman. That's the reality. It's not for fake. This is not for play. It's just the reality of how we're living. So now all we can is rededicate ourselves and be virgins again in the faith. So if you become a new creature, that means that everything that you did before the Most High is willing to forgive you, Ezekiel the 18th chapter. You can't then go back to be the same unclean person that you was before. Even if the physical body has done these things, man, at least spiritually, you got to at least have some act right the second time. You can't make the same excuse. Oh man, man, she just looks so good. Oh, my heart gave into her. Oh, what am I do? You can't have those excuses anymore. You should be well defended against such things. And that's how we become set apart. That's how you become that light on the hill. You ain't no light on the hill if you got an excuse bag. You got your wallet and you got your excuse bag in the other pocket. Well, I only did this because of this. So that's the things that we separate ourselves from in this nation, man. You're seeing it every day. And then some people get offended at it. You know, a lot of times you bring up certain points, they say, well, why did, you know, listen. You know, one thing I learned in my time of Wave is that you stay on topic, man. If I'm addressing you, I'm addressing you. Let's just stay there. You know, it's not about what I did in the past and nothing like that. We all have done things, but I'm talking about in this truth now, man. We should never have where we're talking about we've made certain mistakes. Certain things should not, the Spirit of the Most High will keep us from it. There's no way that we should make certain errors in this with the Ruach HaKodesh upon us now. Certain things we shouldn't even be capable of doing. You know, you can't be like the darkness and then proclaim the light. You know, you can't do these things. And that's what this nation looks to do. It looks to soil you. It's a trap everywhere. Everywhere is a trap. For the sisters is a trap. You know, for the brothers is a trap. And a lot of times that trap is each other. You want to say something, bro? That brother might be in his sandwich, getting his Sabbath meal together. But when you go on when y'all checking out these videos, y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the main videos you see out there now? You see these loyalty test videos, and you know, you see a lot of these. What's the young kids now? And they going up and they're pranking everybody, man. Like nobody has any sense of what's right, man. I seen a guy, he walking up the escalator, he touching on people's, you know, woman, and they grabbing him off the escalator, you know. Some guys running around talk about, hey man, you want to get clapped? They're joking around, man. You got real people out there that's talking about they got ops and they got guns and people are putting it on camera, man. You're gonna get a lot of crazy stuff. The spirit in this place is just so wayward. The things people think is funny is wayward. The things people do for laughs and social media followers is just out there, putting your life on the line. Man, look, what's this new thing now? You go in there and you see the breakup prank. Man, you got your wife or girlfriend crying because you telling her that you want to leave her. And you packing your bags. Like, what manner of people is this? What manner of spirit is this that you think that that's a prank to tell your woman that you're going to leave her? This is the spirit they want to come in because it's trying to make you feel like, oh, it's just a joke. Oh, it's just for laughs. I seen one that was on YouTube where the girl said, oh, I ran into my ex and, you know, we messed around. No fear of getting the backhand to her face. No fear of getting shot on the spot because some men go that far. But it was a prank that you put on YouTube. Hey, I was messing around with my ex-boyfriend. You know, and I'm sorry, babe. And they go through that whole thing just to have people watch a video. I mean, then mind, you might say that, okay, that's not that serious. It is serious. This is the spirit and the mind of the people. Even little kids now, my little niece, she got her phone around and she's trying to put you on camera all the time. TikTok, Snapchat, IG. And let me tell you something, what happens if you don't watch what you put out there. You end up being the cause of misleading other people. And let me tell you something, every act will be there to condemn you or to affirm life. You mislead a bunch of people, man, you're going to have to address that. And because it's so easy to get online, just anybody to get online and just put anything out there to get people to follow them, they don't have no motivation to teach nothing spiritual. They don't have no motivation to teach you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to give you a lesson in life that is actually beneficial to somebody. Man, this stuff is out there just to make you even more docile and more separate from the Most High. By show of ones, who have y'all seen these videos, these loyalty test videos, these videos of breaking up with your woman, or the woman breaks up with the man, or I'm pregnant by somebody else videos, and it's all for laughs and gags. And it's like, yo, what are you doing, man? People get killed for stuff like that. Walking up to people just to film them. Talking about the more controversial, the more exactly. But these are the things we're supposed to be separate from. These are the things that are getting highlighted in front of us right now every day. You know, if we was to go on YouTube and we just share the screen, man, we can get for days. That's what you're seeing out there. We're not supposed to be like that, Zion. These are the things that we're cleaving to. These are the things that we're becoming like. This is becoming a part of it. This is how the heart is getting molded now, and all these crazy things. You know, all these things is separate from the Most High. You know, and people think it's funny. Man, that stuff ain't funny. And let me tell you something. I guarantee there's been some tragedies out there. They not filming them. Hell, back in the day during slavery, they put us and our women on an auction block with black where YT males got to group our women. Yeah. Now our women are all online putting themselves on an auction block. Exactly. Like if you think about it, every picture you see of our women, she's showing that she's curvaceous. Now, in mind, this is not just to come at the women. Y'all know sisters, y'all know it's true. You can't even see a sister unless she's selling you on who she is sexually. She's showing you the bosom, she's showing you the hips, she's showing you the butt. She working out at the gym. I seen it was a video that popped up on Facebook. The girl was at the gym. I'm like, listen, you know, that's a little outrageous. You gotta look at the title so you don't see some of these things. And next thing you know, you thinking about it. Like, and this is all this out there. And it's mainly our women you're seeing. It's just the reality. Our women are sexual objects in this country. That's what they're taught to use. That's what the culture has become. The culture has become the sexuality of our women. The culture has become the flamboyant and boisterous, have all the money, promote your car, throwing dollars out. This is what it's become. This is what our face is to those who don't know us, man. You go to Africa, this is what they're saying. This is what they say they see. When they see us in America, why they're warned against us is because they see what is perpetuated online.
That type of stuff should have our brothers outraged, But a lot of times, what you see is our own brothers taking part in sexualizing the sisters, in doing that, in trying to benefit off of sexualizing our own females. For instance, like look what the Most High said. The Most High said that I think the Most High calls this to mind, not only to like a smack in the face, but to like wake up, like look what's going on here. The Most High says, the virgin of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, king of Judah. Hear, O heaven, and give ear, O earth. For the Most High has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Most High. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They have gone away backwards. Now look what the Most High says next. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. The whole heart is faint. From the sole of thy foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burnt with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. So the Most High is saying, like, the heathen didn't got in having their way with your land, your city. They did all this to you. They having their way with your women. See what I'm saying? This should enrage you. You should be enraged.
It's a war. It's a war right now between the man, the so-called black man, and the so-called black woman, and you're seeing it playing out. Like the so-called black man, the true Israelite or one of the tribes of Israel, is actually being shown as the passport bro. He's being shown it like we're just totally so far against our women that we got to roll out. Like, this is what is being perpetuated. Now, mind you, I'm sure we're not the only, because Esau, Edomite women are definitely lacking. Like they just straight out there. You know, you see some of this stuff like, you know, they body counters in the stratosphere. I mean, we're talking about 100-yard pass. And I know that they go out of the country as well, but they're not being the face of a group of men or a nation of men being against their own women. And then they're showing our women being against us. And we're the face of these things to show that our house is in turmoil. The father and the wife, I mean, the mother and the father is at war. And this is what they show, that our nation is so divided that how can we raise a house when our men are supposed to be so done with our women, and our women are only dealing with men who got make six figures, or who can put them in the fanciest car and things like that, to the point where we're done with each other, or that they're out of order, or our sisters are out of order, we're out of order. And these are the things that get put on TV, and you got to know there's an agenda there. There's an agenda there when they don't highlight the fathers that take care of their kids, or the agenda is there when you don't highlight the mother and the father that's in the house raising the children. When you choose what you want to put in front of the world. Yeah, I mean, it might be entertaining to go on there. Oh man, I'm leaving the country. But they don't never highlight the houses that are intact. Israelite families. How many Israelite families can you grab a picture of online where you see them dressed in Israelite attire, husband and wife and children, learning the commandments and things like that? You'll never see that on TV. You'll never see Christian kids that's being taught the commandments on TV, or a shame-faced woman that has her hair wrapped or not have it wrapped, or dressed in a meek way, or a husband that's over his house ruling his house right. You're never going to see our people be the face of something like that. They're not going to show that. That doesn't make for good TV even amongst our own people, or make for good social media. But you got to know it's an agenda when you're flooded with those things, when you're flooded with that disinformation, where you make the most negative thing be the face of a people. Now, other nations come to know us by what they see on social media. Our people in Africa, or some of our people in Africa, what they see online is what they know of us. Chinese, all these people, what they know of us is what they see online. So when they see these things, like, oh my goodness, these niggas are savage. Their women is just straight up, you know, in many whoredoms. And this is how they view us. And I think somehow Esau makes, matter of fact, let me show a clip of something real quick, if you don't mind. Let me show a clip of something real quick. If I could get to that real quick. I want to show something that was inside the movie. What was the name of that movie? It was called Night Stalker. And it might go over a lot of people's head when you look at it. But
with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he was a reporter or something like that.
Yeah, he was a reporter, and I want to show this little clip from this movie. I'm gonna grab it up right now because I actually downloaded the movie because I thought this clip was real profound. Here it go right here. Let's see. Let me get right to. I think it's at the 20-minute mark. I think it's that. So I'm gonna go to it real quick. Here we go.
Something like this.
All right, so I'm gonna expand my screen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. If I can remember how to do it. All right.
Just use that to present button.
All right. Share screen. Let me know if you see it, brother, when I get it on here.
Okay. You should be able to. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Let me maximize. There you go.
Here we go. Now we ain't gonna. I just could swear I just added up. All right, here we go. If y'all can see it, man, let me get a one. I just want to show this one small clip. Can they see it, bro?
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
That's right.
Turn it up.
All right. Tell me if you can hear it, man. I'm gonna just let it play for 5 seconds. Let me know if you can hear it.
Buddy.
That's great.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
All right. Let me start from right here. I just want y'all to check this out real quick.
Buy yourself some better equipment, a directional mic, and get interviews when you can. You have a good eye.
Thank you. I'm just beginning, so praise from someone such as yourself, where you can imagine that it means quite a lot.
Well, I'll help in any way I can. And of course, you can help me by calling us first. I want you to contact me when you have something.
Something like this.
That's right.
Bloody.
Well, that's only part of it. We like crime. I mean, not all crime. Carjacking in Compton, for example. That isn't news now, is it? We find our viewers are more interested in urban crime creeping into the suburbs. What that means is a victim or victims, preferably well off and white, injured at the hands of the poor or a minority.
Just crime.
No, accidents, Clay. Cars, buses, trains, planes, fires.
Now, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Now it says that not all crime is newsworthy, but the crime that white people want to see is preferably where there is a white victim at the hands of the poor or a minority. Now, why is it that they will put in a movie that white people prefer news where they are the victim at the hands of, and let's cut through the red tape, black people?
Mm-hmm. Same reason why they call us black and they call them white.
Exactly.
To reinforce this type of superiority over us and this type of righteousness that they proclaim to have.
But this is what they want to see to feel justified in their actions towards us. Why they make policies like stop and frisk, and why they shoot our children, why they vilify us through social media. They make sure that the world sees us as savages. They put us on front display, and whatever reality shows that we have, we're always doing something wild or indignant or unscrupulous. And then you see how it plays out in the news. White people really want to see crime of minorities against their own people. The reason that they put this propaganda out there and how it's pushed on people is through social media, when we play a part in that, because our people upload some of the dumbest stuff, you know, the things that would make them look at our people in an unrighteous way, is because they want to make it look like the things that they did to us was just, and the things that they do. They want to feel like the victim. Now, this is the thing. How can you go through 400 years of rape, robbery, and murder, mass incarceration, poorly educated, put inside the slums, put inside the ghettos, living in poverty, stole your name, your nation, you don't know who you are, you running around with a dog tag called their last names, Jackson, Robinson, Lemons, or whatever other names that we have. We're running all these things, but yet in the end, they want to be viewed as the victim at our hands. It goes right back to Nat Turner. Have you ever seen Confessions, or the excerpts from the book Confessions by Nat Turner? These heathens were actually wondering what went into the psychological makeup of Nat Turner when he decided to raise a revolt. Now, mind you, Nat Turner's in slavery. Seeing slavery, seeing people murdered, seeing people hung, being whipped. They wonder what went wrong with Nat Turner that he should rise up and want to fight and kill his oppressor. This is how their mind worked. They even made themselves the victim when Nat Turner rose up in a time where he's watching our women get raped and wives being taken away and children being sold from their parents. To them, they were the victim when that happened. Why would he do that? And that same thing, that same fear that they got that we're going to rise up, they embed it inside their people, inside the movies. That's why white people prefer black being crime, where they're the victim and we're the perpetuator of what happens to them. That's why they want to see that type of stuff. And brother, it might make sense.
Absolute sense. I'm actually looking for something. I'm looking for an excerpt, because what this is all pointing at is war propaganda. That's war propaganda when they do that type of stuff. And I'm trying to find some information on it real quick, because I had something that was talking about that briefly concerning the Greco captivity and how they got the mass public to really view our people. So check this out. So this is the type of stuff that they did, right, towards our people. This is the blueprint right here. This is what they do. All of this is a part of war propaganda that they use towards our people. Now check out this. Check this out. Let me that's the wrong one. Here it is. Can you see it? Hold on. Am I sharing? Am I even
Yeah,
sharing?
I can see it, bro. It's on there.
It's on there? Okay. Okay. So let me enhance it just a tad bit. So it says, again, if the Hellenization of the Jews of the dispersion was held in check by proud consciousness of the superiority to the Gentiles in morals and religion, a consciousness which contribute not a little to their success as missionaries, it was also hindered, we must suppose, by the hostility which they encountered among the Gentiles. Slanderous statements about their history and life together with bloody assaults upon them must have tended to strengthening rather than lessen the aversion to the entire pagan society in which they lived. There is a literature reaching back as far as Manetho in the middle of the 3rd century before Christ, which says hard things of the Jews, that they were driven out of Egypt as leprous and unclean, that they had an ass head of gold in the Holy of Holies, that Antiochus Epiphanes found there a statue of Moses seated on an ass, that about this time they sanctified a Greek, or they sacrificed a Greek annually. See, so what you're seeing is they paint a picture of Israelites being violent towards Greeks, as being barbarous, right? It says in the temple, and swore undying hostility towards Hellenism, that the Jewish Feast of Tabernacles was not different from the Feast of Bacchus, and that the Jews drank on Sabbath until they were drunk, that their religion was barbarous, superstition, and destructive of all the bonds of society. These and similar charges made by reputable Gentile authors were not adapted to draw the Jews towards their religion. But I lost the rest of the excerpt. But basically, this was the type of war propaganda put out towards our people back then. It's the same narrative that they paint towards our people today. That we're barbaric, that we're looking to rob some white people or to rape some white woman, or that's all they do. It's war propaganda to turn the people towards us to not have compassion when they start outright killing us. That's what it's all about. That's why they put these movies out like that. That's why they put the information that they put out and paint our people in these type of narratives. You know?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, they do. Let me tell you, they expect us, and that's why social media has been like one of the biggest tools to kind of fuel their, propaganda. It allows people to stereotype us. It allows people to say, okay, that they meet every what's the word I'm looking for? What's that when you categorize people into a certain box?
Criteria.
Every criteria, every bigoted viewpoint that they have of our people, every stereotype, it helps them to see us how they want to see us. Like you got the one dude who do the ops videos, man. Every time he's looking to pull a gun out on his people. This is how he gets entertainment on this channel. This is his entertainment. This is how he and when white people or when the nation sees, this is what they perceive us to be. Now, all this stuff is wrong because a lot of people know that it's wrong. A lot of people know that we're the children of Israel. When the Bible talks about you should be a proverb, a byword, and an astonishment. If any other people fell into that category, nobody falls into that category like us. But we're not looking at everything as spiritual, man. I used to have a friend and he passed away, and it always hurts my heart because he didn't believe when he passed away. He used to always say, man, you don't think God got a sense of humor, man? And he would watch some things like on Family Guy. And I'm like, man, I ain't watching that stuff, man. This was many years ago before I even found out I was an Israelite, man, when I wasn't even really particularly concentrating on religion, but I still had a fear of the Most High. I'm like, nah, I don't believe God has the Most High has no sense of humor that that I would watch a show where it makes a mockery of whom he is and who his son is.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, the Most High is not laughing about that. But a lot of our people don't see the harm in these things. You know, like with our children, man. Our children, man, are seeing these things like the video that the brother showed with the girl Tia Mowry. I know she's an Edomite. Her dad's an Edomite, so you know it ain't like it's shocking what she did with that brother she was with. But she came out and she had like this leopard skin thing on, and she said it was a baby. And the son looked at it. He was like, no. And she was like, why? He was like, yo, you know, what are you doing? You know, and she said, no, it's a bathing suit. He was like, come on, man, that's not no bathing suit. Why you got high heels on? You know, and this is something. Why would you come out like that in front of your son? Now, mind you, she's not really an Israelite because her dad is a Caucasus. He's a Caucasoid. But the perpetuation of this, of once you touch something black, you're black, has now called almost all people who come from other nations that got brown skin to be viewed as black. And now whatever they put out is labeled on us because we accept everybody that got brown skin. Even people that has no DNA connection to us, have no biological connection to us. So you got a lot of Edomite women out there that subscribe to our people, even though they're not of our nation. So you're seeing these things, and it's like, yo, nobody's looking at it for the seriousness that it is, because the psychological makeup in a person is crafted by what you expose yourself to. You become who you are by what you take into your spirit. That's why David said, I will set no evil thing before mine eyes. I hate those who turn aside, they shall not cleave to me. Because everything you take into your spirit cleaves to you. You're sitting there watching a horror movie. It's not just entertainment. It becomes a part of your spirit. Somewhere in your subconscious becomes a part of you. If you see a certain type of psychology or a certain mindset in the person that you look up to in a show or in a movie, it becomes a part of you. You start to mold yourself in those ways, man. Even as you get older, the more you take in, the more it comes either at variance with your spirit or makes you something else. And this is why the stuff is perpetuated on us like that, because everything matters. Ain't nothing don't matter. How could a person say, man, this thing matter not? Everything matters when it's affecting who you are, affecting the type of man or person that you are, when it's contrary to the Most High's commandments. Man, we wouldn't believe some of the things that's cleaving to us that we took in just from watching certain things. You know, how can a person watch pornographic stuff and say it's not affecting him in any way? How can he? That's impossible. How can a person say he's entertained by the murder of people? You know, most movies is an actual active entertainment of murdering people, but yet, you know, somehow they want to concentrate on what brothers rap about. But John Wick Chapter 4, which I'm pretty sure 99% of us in here probably is going to see, is about a white man that just he's so sharp with a gun that he taking on armies of people. He's stylishly killing them. Oh, and this is what people are entertained by. He's stylishly killing everybody. He can't just shoot somebody. He can't be so bad. He got to say something crafty. He got to flip over table. He got to give you vainglory in watching him. Man, I'm just saying. And next thing you know, you sitting down and you thinking about jumping over a table with somebody who punked you in 8th grade. You done John Wick him in your brain. Then you snap out of it.
Yeah, I gotta confess, man. Somebody cut me off one time. I thought about John Wick, and I'm like, yeah, I could do this right here.
You can't just run around your car. You got to jump on the hood and land a certain way, and you know, like I mean, but brother, these things is what's happening. And then if you was to ask a person that's 80-something years old, and what do you think about a movie where a guy is highlighted and he done killed 100 people throughout the movie? Man, that movie's good. That person will think something wrong with you, like something wrong with you, that you sought to find the thing where the highlight of its program is that people are getting murdered. You ever sit there and look at those movies and say, you know what? If I wanted to look at it in the realistic sense, the person he just shot was somebody's baby once that smiled and played like a little kid. You ever thought to yourself something like that? Just for a second. For a second, like think about the person John Wick killed and be like, dang, man, if this was a literal movie, if this was a literal life, that was somebody's son at one point that smiled and laughed, that said, you know, that made baby sounds that somebody laughed at. And then you start looking at it crazy when you start thinking like that. You start saying that like something is still detached in me, that I'm searching these things out. And I'm not saying that you can't be entertained, but you got to look at what we've been trained to be entertained by. Even the littlest things is going to make us cleave to this place. Even the littlest things. And it's like, yo, you always got to be on guard for your spirit. Put on the whole armor all the time, because as soon as you let your guard down, you indulge and you're like, damn, man, I'm really souped up by this. And you're not knowing that that's what it is. And that's what its design is for. Like what they say, television. Look at even the pronunciation of the word. Programming. Telling you what to think, how to view things. Solomon himself said there are all things of vanity. Imagine how vain it is when our women can see a woman on a TV show. She coming in high heels, tight outfit, everybody looking at her like that. And let me tell you, in that woman's mind, all of a sudden she done put herself in that person's place. Dang, if I walked in with this on, everybody be doing that to me. Her mind goes right there. Or a brother who got some enemies out there. He see John Wick or Die Hard, and he say some catchphrase as he shoots somebody in the head. And let me tell you something. That vainglory, that's what they call the delusions of grandeur, is what these things are supposed to set out. It's supposed to make you fall into that false sense of reality, and to grandeur eyes these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you sit back and just reflect and think about it. Man, I don't know how many times I sat back and I'm thinking these things to myself, and I'm like Solomon was telling the truth, man. Everything is vanity. Everything. When you was a teen, imagine how many times I went to a house party when I was a teen. I'm playing the wall. Take a little kneel down. Think I look any cooler than I did standing up. And I did that stuff when I was a teen. Or wearing black on black and feel like, man, you feel like you look cool, or you blow blunt smoke out your mouth and you feel cooler because you can have it come out like a donut. I'm just saying all these things that are being put on you, and all of a sudden you done put yourself on a pedestal, or you start to cause yourself to have vainglory, to imagine it, to want to be it.
That's child stuff. That's stuff that you used to imagine when you was little,
Exactly. But these movies now have grown-ups 50 years old thinking about these things.
Exactly. And the scripture said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I act as a child, and I my actions were so. But when I became adult, I put childish things behind me, So as Israelites, we should be able to recognize and be able to discern good from evil in those type of things when we do see those. And we got to be careful too what we let into our eyes and in our mind and into our houses. Those things carry negative spirits too when you watch that stuff. You and your wife have been getting all your children and your wife and everybody, y'all getting along. Now all of a sudden there's issues in the house. Someone's upset for some reason, and it's a minute reason, but because you didn't guard your household, you let certain spirits in there.
Right. And you got to be able to recognize those spirits. You got to be able to recognize what's, you got to know how to skew evil. What is it? Matter of fact, if you was to read, grab up Job 28 and 28.
Job 28.
Yeah, Job 28, 28. Grab that up, please. When a person is walking set apart, the main part of your life is recognizing what's wrong, recognizing sin, recognizing waywardness. And I'm not trying to make it look like I've recognized these things, because sometimes I find myself watching things and these things try to creep into my mind. Like, I'm not saying it because I'm just sitting here in the position like I recognize, and I'm telling you don't do it because I've never done it. I'm able to say it to you, articulate it to you, because it had that effect on myself. The same way, like with the white Jesus. Some of us still think about the white Jesus. Why do you think that image is there? We still fighting off the image of white Jesus. And that's why I'm saying it to you now, is that These things are meant to happen to us. That's why I'm always very conscious about what I watch. And because I can we can recognize the spiritual, like, damn, man, I really got to be on guard because this is what it's doing. I watched one movie, I think in the last month, that was that house party movie. I was like, let me check it out. And a lot of times when I watch something, I'm like, let me see if there's something in there. And then lo and behold, there was some stuff that just made our people just that much stupider when it comes to, you know, doing like perpetuating things that white people want to put out there. Job 28:28.
Oh, 28:28. All right. I thought you said 28 and 28. All right.
It says, and unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord or the Most High, that is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. Understanding is to be able to depart from evil. What do we let's like look at that in depth. To understand how to discern between good and evil is understanding. From sin and which is right and light is understanding. To know the difference between which is good and which is bad. Light and darkness, that's understanding. To be able to recognize it. Bam, that's unclean. Bam, that's wrong. That's understanding.
More than that, but to depart from it also.
That's right, to depart from it. To depart from that is understanding. So the turn from sin is understanding. If you know how to depart from sin, that's understanding. To depart from evil, some versions say depart from sin. But the turn from evil is understanding. That's why I say a righteous man see trouble or evil and he get out the way. You know, you don't wait till you fall into certain mishaps or let a thing keep festering and until it becomes a problem or leads you into sin. Just like right now, you got a lot of Israelite brothers out there who want a wife. Like, man, brothers is used to going out to clubs when they was back before they got into the truth. They don't even know how to meet a woman anymore. So now you're an Israelite and you know you can't operate that way. And now you got brothers looking for reasons to take in women you know is not really good. And sisters alike. Or falling into certain Cash App scams. So, you know, like waiting on Esau to send the CIA to your house because somebody taught you how to just get an infinite amount of money off Cash App. I seen somebody promoting that one day. I'm just saying. So I'm saying to you is that you got to be able to have understanding enough to depart from evil. You got to know, okay, man, listen, this person's an atheist. I can't be talking to this person. Or sister to say, hey, man, you know, this brother don't even read the Bible. I don't need to be talking to him. No matter how handsome you find him, whatever these things are, you got to be able to be able to depart from evil. You got to recognize, oh, this movie right here got all this symbolism and the unclean spirits is going to be running around in my mind. I need to turn this off. That's understanding when you can depart from, when you can turn, when you see the trouble. And let me tell you something, you in Babylon, everything is meant to affect you. Man, you don't got no rest. Everything is meant to be a stumbling block and a thorn here. Everything's supposed to come at you. Everything is meant to put you in the poorest state. Yep. You got to be on guard every second of the day here. You walk out the door on guard. You turn the TV on guard. Everything you hear, take in this place. Everything here is evil. Everything. If you ain't saying let us go, given that understanding, something ain't right with you. You might as well, you know, you might be a Christian, just infiltrating. If you can't say let us go when to these things.
Check it out. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat real quick for anybody that want to come up and say their piece before we shut down. Go and hit the link. Yeah, man. But there's no 400-year prophecy though. You know, all these things we see happening, this is all just coincidence, y'all. You know, all that stuff. You know, it don't have nothing to do with the Gospels. You got nothing to do with the Bible. You know, and I want to point out too, Mike Holloway's video that he did was towards Terror Ministry. Now you already know how it started the earth and how we feel about Terror Ministry. You know, those are brothers. You know, so if he got a problem with them, he got a problem with us.
Hey, brother Bonnie, man, you know, I've been in a lot of chats, and every time you throw that link out there, everybody get they act like they they get stage fright. Look, somebody come and just say shalom to the brothers on the panel, man.
Oh, we got Road Oh, Rojo was in this.
Yeah. Somebody, come on, yo. We can't keep doing this every time the link put out there. Everybody be like, yeah, let me you ain't got to have your camera on. We ain't trying to see if you did your hair or not. Put your avatar up. Just say shalom, brothers. We love you or something, or whatever. Somebody, come on now. We gonna stop putting that link out there and y'all sit in the cut. Put an avatar up or something. There you go. All praise the Most High.
Hey, shalom to you both. Shalom, brother Benaiah, and to you as well, and shalom to the chat.
Shalom, brother, man. Appreciate you, man, Rojo. Come on, scary people. Man, we supposed to be Zion with y'all scared stuff. Come on, say shalom or something. We're not gonna keep doing this with that link, man. Get in here. Before I tell. I ain't got nobody to tell, but Come on. We beef for rap. Come in, just say shalom. Stop being scary.
Get disconnected. we got Rojo in here though. Shalom blessings, family.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I'm the one that's known as the troublemaker around here because I'm the one that will give those heathens the work, and especially that don't kick me out when I say this, but that's Skittles Brigade, them trying to push F-ism on our babies. I mean, I take serious offense to that, and I'm telling you, I'm almost at the point to where I want to start putting hands on people, but I'll yield there because I'm not trying to get nobody's channel shut down.
One. Indeed, bro. That's the word. We got Yahweh keep. Oh, we got Dre up in here.
Yo.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom and blessings, bro.
Shalom. Yeah, my bad. I was laying down listening to y'all. I slipped my disc and I've been out for a couple days.
Oh man. We're gonna take prayer for you. We got prayer in like 2 hours. We're gonna put up some prayer for you.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, it's crazy because
2 hours.
What up, bro? Is that me?
Is that Eric? You might have to cut your joint off on YouTube.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Sorry. Shalom and blessing though, bro. My bad.
Yeah, I've been in this awakening for probably a couple of years. When my grandpa passed, it put me on this journey, trying to find out who I am and just trying to reach out to family members, and I feel like there's a lot that's happening, that it seems like a lot of us are asleep. I guess the people I talk to, just trying to wake up our people, and it seems like they don't get it, and I try to bring out the scriptures, and sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm like, but then I fall back on these channels. I'm like, nah, I'm doing the right thing, but this journey, it took us to Egypt a couple months ago, and just realizing we are the people, and at the end of this month we're going to Kenya, to go check out I believe the Masi tribe.
Oh, the Masi tribe?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, bro.
And and I continue to try to wake up my family. A lot of them don't believe in the Bible. But yeah, I appreciate what you guys do. Keep on doing what you guys are doing, and you guys are doing God's work, and I appreciate it. And that's all I got to say.
Peace and blessing to you, brother. All praise the Most High, man. Most High do all the work.
Yes,
we had to speak according to our own knowledge. All you would hear was blip, 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 blip. So glad to give us a way to articulate ourselves that we don't sound like babbling fools. Give us a way to articulate ourselves that we don't sound like babbling fools.
Hey, God bless you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
So yeah, brother. I'm a blessing, bro, man. Thank you for coming on, bro. We do this for our people, Hey, Brother Eric, you might have to cut your joint off on YouTube. because it's echoing.
Shalom, brothers. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now,
bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, bro, you can hear you,
bro. Yeah. Can you hear us?
You might not be able to hear us, huh?
Yeah,
Brother Eric,
I
we
got
can
it.
hear you.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, brother, we hear you.
Hey, brother Benaya, I have a question for you, bro. If you don't mind me asking, did y'all see that video of that white boy that I mean, I don't know if y'all hit TikTok or not, but he had the picture of America showing the two mountain ranges, the Appalachian and the Rockies, saying how those are impenetrable barriers if Russia or China try to invade from either side. And then they're talking about these, tobacco chewing hicks that can, pop a fly from a mile away, and talking about that would be their defense against an invasion. And I guess it would be better than the moist military brigade they have now, because they're not interested in fighting nobody unless it's sword fighting. But I just want to know if you knew anything about that.
Yeah, all we got in the military is a bunch of doodle chasers. Yeah, they're highly delusional if they think that a bunch of rednecks gonna stop China from doing anything. So, they shot out. They on one serious. They making their own moonshine over there.
I mean, didn't China go through a much larger mountain range called the Himalayas to get to Tibet? And didn't Russia, before they became the Soviet Union, go over the Ural Mountains to take Ukraine to begin with? And those are far bigger than what they have over here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Brother Eric, can you hear us now? Brother Eric Tinsley's mic is, I don't know if it's...
I can hear you guys. I'm just wondering if you can hear me, because I got a delay on my end.
Yeah, we can hear you, but when you put it on YouTube also, then it echoes.
All right. And I just wanted, y'all had already read it, but I wanted to go over Abraham's prophecy.
Absolutely.
And what shuts the whole thing down is the Most High said that we will be in a land and we won't know the language. Well, we were in Goshen and we knew the Egyptian language. So that right there should, if anybody had sense or had any truth, would recognize, well, it can't be talking about when Moses brought us out of Egypt back then.
You get that. All right, so check this out. So this is what the scriptures say, and I'm gonna do this in unison with the prophecy of Abraham, right? So Genesis 15:12 says, "And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham. And lo, in horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed should be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance." Now, it says they will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, right? Now, one of the things we brought out in previous lessons is that the geographical area that our forefathers were dwelling in fell within the borders of the Euphrates and the Nile River, right? Now, the Most High gave that particular part of that land to Abraham seed already. So they were dwelling in a land that was promised to them. So this particular stipulation does not fall within that. Now,
Right.
going to what you were saying, right? It says in Genesis 28 and 49, the Most High should bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle fly, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Now I'm going to go to one more precept, and that would be in Isaiah 33 and 19.
Sounds like the United States to me.
Right? And I'll start at 17, and it says, thy eyes should see the king in his beauty. They should behold the land that is very far off. Thy heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Where is he that counted the towers? Thou shalt not see a fierce people, a people of deeper speech than thou can perceive, of a stammering tongue that thou canst not understand. All right. So the Most High has been saying that from the beginning, that he would bring a nation against Israel from afar, whose tongue thou shalt not understand. All right. English is the youngest nation or the youngest language in the world. So we know English is the language that he was talking about, that we would not understand.
Right.
Did you add anything onto that, bro? Hello?
Hello?
Well, yeah, I'm here,
No,
bro.
that's it.
My bad.
That's
Yeah, yo, it also
for me,
it
that's
also,
the nail in the coffin. That proves.
Go ahead, brother. You can finish your thought.
Hello? All right,
brother, let me say, just finish the thought. If you go into 1 Corinthians chapter 14, we know that with other tongues, the Most High was going to speak to as well, because he actually cites, or he precepts Isaiah 28. If you grab up 1 Corinthians 14.
1 Corinthians 14.
Grab up 14, 21, 22.
All right, hold on. Let me get it.
Some people say that English is the hardest language to learn. Go ahead, bro. I mean, you can read it. You want me to read it?
I got it. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 21. In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. And yet for all that will they not hear me, said the Most High. Wherefore tongues are a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believeth not. But prophesying serveth not for them that believe not, but for them which believe.
So tongues are for a sign, even with speaking to these people with stammering lips in another tongue. Like we know that even in the prophecy the brother brought up from Deuteronomy 28, that it will be a language we wouldn't understand. And this is the newest language on the earth. I say that in an a subjective sense, because I don't know if it's somebody who created a language the other day. I know people create Plig Latin later, but that's not established language. But English is one of the newest languages, and they build upon it every day. And it's confusing to a lot of people. So this language right here, man, would fit Deuteronomy chapter 28 better than almost any other language that was given in the history of man, especially considering like how we talk about the introduction of the letter J, how there was no J in Hebrew, and all these things, just how different it is from our own language, and how this is a combination of the ancient Greek or Greek language and the Latin and actually some Hebrew remnants. If you look at the A, is supposed to be a representation of the olive. So this language then pilfered from everything. And if you think about America, that's how this country was built. It takes a piece of everybody's nationality. They hijack and they make it their own.
Well, I have a question, and I'm kind of stuck with, I'm not stuck because I think I know the answer. It's a lot of camp doctrine, and I've gotten into it with a few brothers from the camps, verbally, of course, you know, and they keep on talking about the whole 2/3. Because my personal opinion is I don't believe there's going to be any more Jacob's trouble. Right now, it's going to be for everybody. Yeah, we'll get the brunt of it, but I guess my belief system goes more into the Bible lesson that Yacoba had like several years ago, and I was late to the party reading it, but it goes more into what he was talking about. I personally think that Jacob's trouble started back in Zechariah 13, but I get a lot of pushback from that. What do y'all think? I mean, you know, I'm always trying to be a student, a master student. I'm not trying to be no one's teacher. So,
well, we talked about that. We talked about that several times before, brother. That you know, Jacob's trouble started long ago, and you know, one of the issues that we have concerning understanding Jacob's trouble, everybody expecting Jacob's trouble to start. And that means you're disregarding the suffering that our people already been going through, right? So when we look at when Mashiach died, that was Jacob's trouble. We look at 70 AD, that was Jacob's trouble. When we look at the Babylonian captivity, that was Jacob's trouble. When you look at the Greek, the Medo-Persia, that was Jacob's trouble. When you look at the Spanish Inquisition, when you look at the Islamic slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, that was Jacob's trouble. What we living in today, mass incarceration, mass abortion, the school to prison pipeline, right? The Jim Crow, that is Jacob's trouble. 400 years of affliction, that is Jacob's trouble. We've been in Jacob's trouble.
And that's what I'm saying. So why are the camps always pushing on me, saying that I'm not learned and that, you know, part of the 2/3 and everything? I mean, Zechariah states who's the 2/3 are, and they've been, I mean, us, you know, been getting that business ever since. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, brother. I actually cut you off. You continue, brother. I'm sorry.
No, I always want to refer back to one of your teachings, and it's a good lesson. I can't find it for the life of me. When you talked about, you remember the Yaya Negro, and that had to have been 4 or 5 years ago, and I saved it on my phone, but I didn't download it to my cloud. So when I switched phones and I had to clear everything, I lost it. And I find that to reference it, but because I didn't have any receipts, you know, I was just, you know, dead in the water.
Mm-hmm. We actually got that, teacher. I gotta make it available again. Brother Eric and I, we actually did a lesson on that concerning the 2/3. And the brunt of it was this: a lot of times people use that 2/3 as a I don't want to say a defense mechanism, but they use it as an excuse when we come upon disagreements. Anytime it's a disagreement, oh, you know, brother, that's 2/3 nigga. He ain't listening. You know, so you know, and the bad thing about that is, you know, the scripture tells us, you know, we bless each other, we be blessed. We curse each other, we'll be cursed. So, you know, you use that to curse brothers when you disagree with them. You know, oh yeah, you know, that's 2/3, you 2/3 because you disagree with me. You know, but that's the gist of it, of what I can say. You know, but we don't believe that we're waiting for Jacob's trouble. Neither do we believe like, you know, like the 2/3 is someone that's all of a sudden just going to be killed because they disagree with us. In fact, you know, we don't really have a particular scripture to pinpoint that the 2/3 is coming from one particular time. You know, 2/3 could have been coming throughout the whole point of Jacob's trouble, right? So, you know, you can't really pinpoint and say someone that disagrees with you is 2/3. You can't say that. You know, no matter what you believe, you know. But yeah, it's used to silence people. Yeah, exactly, brother Jabroni. It's used. That 2/3 of it has to be silent. It has to be silenced, but it's also used to silence people, to say, well, you don't, you know, you're gonna be destroyed. So now whatever you have to say after this is not valid. You know. Now I had another brother join up. Someone was asking for an email. I lost it. Where is it? Somewhere over here. There we go. Thanks, bro. So I emailed Gregory. Is it Tezboat? Would that be right, or is it Sezboat? Is it Tezboat? Well, I'm gonna just say Gregory. Our email is saltoftheearth144@gmail.com. Let me see if I can go ahead and give you this real quick. Give you that give you the Gmail real quick. That Salt of the Earth. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and you can send this emails to us. Here we go. Salt of the Earth 144@gmail.com. There you go. Be sure to write that down. Brother YHWH Keith Berry, your joint might not be working because you don't have any devices connected. So if you're listening to me, you have to connect either your camera or your mic. You have to have one of the two and have that connected in order to be able to come up and speak. So thanks a lot, brother Elisha. Now I had a comment start that I wanted to read before we get out of here. There you go. Hold on. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, bro. How you doing, bro?
Brother, being done by everlasting Father, right? Wind, earth, dust, living water, tears, sweat, in an earthly body. What perfect temperature, consuming fire, 98.9, brother. That should cover Yah spirit. Wind, Amen. Earth, water, consuming fire is how I am being done listening to the program, brother. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. Blessed, man.
Praise Yah's holy name. Praise his holy name. Blessed to execrate, correct? To curse.
Amen.
Divided. That's Yah's first initial, indicative of his way. Darkness from beginning. Beginning ended. Genesis 1:1, Genesis 2:2. Yah the beginning, Yah the ended. Yah darkness, light. He calls it good. Evening divided morning, the first day. Everlasting Father, the high lofty one. Inhabiting eternity's day. Mankind, the sixth day, not the first day, when it was wet, without form, void. Yah. The third day. Divided himself, fountain of living water, together one place, right? That's what it says.
Amen.
Dry land, living earth, brought forth living things. So now Yah, don't change, same one, spirit, moving right now, praising his holy name. So yeah, beginning, brother, ended, presupposes existence. To begin first, you see, last, Yah, spirit, wind, is that become earth, dust, without form, meaning it had to be liquefied as Yah spirit breath is moving at the speed wherever Yah, how fast he want to, but Yah Hayah becomes to pass earth, fountain, living water, singular. But water takes many forms, right? Vapor, snow, ice, etc. Same with Yah, space. Then it's the darkness. Genesis 1:1-5 describes everlasting Father, beginning, end, heaven, earth. One thing, one spirit, praising his holy name. This is what Yah over the years have come to be inspired to call Yahology, brothers, sisters, correcting theology. The way the Bible is written, versionally, theocentrically, meaning God-centered. So no wonder. It's all good though, y'all. Genesis 1:4. The darkness. Ignorance is a part of what darkness means. Just look it up. Strong's 28, 28, it's right, just darkness under that verse. Can't remember right now. It's all good. So praise in Yah's holy name that everything that everyone's been talking about on this channel, on that channel. I heard you reference Brother T.O. Ministries, I think, and others. Y'all listen to him and others as well, you see. But the world over, the four corners, ends of earth, mankind is perfect, not try to be perfect. But man don't understand that. As though Yah hasn't fulfilled Isaiah 42:21, where he said that Yah is prophetic, would be well pleased, magnify his law, honorably keeping it. Yah Mashiach, Yah, son, child. Mother is left out, brethren. Mother is ignored. Well, where does what mother come from? Genesis 3:2 talks about Eve was the mother of all living. Luke 1:21, 131 talks about Mary's thy womb. It ain't nothing nobody's. Yah claims ownership. Yah says 14:19 Genesis, possessor, heaven, earth. Yah is all, that's all. Ain't none like Yah. That's why he can't be a God. Because when you talk about other gods, well, that means Yah's a God. How Yah gonna be spirit? And a God means let us. You see, let us. But that's contradicted by myself alone. I. So I am Yah is spirit. He has no equal. He can't be a God, therefore. That's all the indoctrination that we see reinforce upon within each other's cliques, groups, camps, etc. The world over. Father, child, son, womb, woman. How do you know? Yah, Genesis 2:21-24. He took one of the ribs. Recognize what they call intersexuals today, hermaphrodites that have the same two ribs.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
One second. You know, if you want to preface a teaching, you can get contact the brother Banya through email, and he can.
Okay.
Y'all can discuss a teaching and coming up and speaking.
Absolutely.
Right,
how to get in contact?
Yeah, that's saltedearth144@gmail.com. So if you can email the brother and you can discuss a teaching if you want to come up to.
Yeah, would love to. Would love to, because I just a few weeks ago, about a couple, you had some brother Banya, you had some brother on there that didn't show up. Well, Yah willing will show, because to show forth Yah inspired me to show forth himself, Yah. Always emphasis on Yah. That's why he's called beginning.
I got you, my brother. So just all you gotta do is you send that email and the brother get back to you, and you can discuss if because he actually is the elder over the channel and the group. So you email the brother and he'll see about if he's gonna bring you up to the platform that you can teach and
well,
maybe can be said. But we appreciate you coming up, brother, and Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
Absolutely. And I want to say, there's the email right there. Make sure you send the email, and you tell me what you want to what topic you want to speak on, man, and we'll promptly make sure we open up a slot for you, brother. And really, I just wanted to see how you was doing. You're welcome here, brothers. Love and peace, amen to everything that you said. Thank you for everything that you just imparted to us. And most respect and love to you, brother.
Back to you, the sisters, because Yah is want to finish that thought, if I may, briefly. Yah may. The point is that mother is Yah, Eve, from the womb, the external genitalia. So that shows that Yah is mother of all living. Genesis 3:20, Eve, you see. And so to give all the credit to where it's due, to everlasting Father, child, mother, son, one.
That's right. All praise to the Most High, brother. But you exposing the teaching right now, and I think the brother should be able to discuss with you before.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll follow up. Thanks for the invite.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
good evening.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So what I want to do, I want to close out with this comment that I start, because the brother Abaya bin Yashrael, he said, Brother Bunya, I'm researching the Spanish Inquisition, and I have found that when our ancestors were in Spain and Portugal, there was a sect of Christians called Programas, and they lived only to invent false propaganda and lies. It caused many massacres on our people until our expulsion in 1492. And he said, this one said, no, well, that was the wrong one, but I guess that was the end of it, right? So I want to thank the brother for that comment, because that's something that I would want to look into more so also within actually a presentation that I'm working on. So I wanted to thank you, brother, for sending that information or typing in that. That's a little bit more information that I want to look into. So again, thank you. Any last words, brother Elisha, before we shut down?
It's just all praises be to the Most High. I pray the Most High impart upon us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the Ruach HaKodesh, that we may discern from which is evil, is to eschew all evil and to cleave to which is righteous, that we hunger and thirst after those things, that we be protected from all the devices that's coming at us in this land, and that our speech be let us go, and that we do sigh and cry even in our captivity, that the Most High return us to the land that he promises, that we may be amongst our brothers and sisters and fathers in the land of the living forever, and praise the Most High without fear of recompense to the nations that have scattered us. So all praise be to the Most High. Shabbat Shalom, and everybody in the chat, peace and blessings.
Likewise, walk in faith, walk in grace, and walk in obedience, Israel. Shalom and blessings.